Welcome to Cranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Cranky, and this is the Cranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Cranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Cranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Cranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Greetings. Good evening. Bless up. Why is this thing making noise? Bless up, everyone. New Wave Float Management. Who this? Hey, it's them comment, people. Look on this comment, people. People, look on this comment. You see what thumbnail can do, people? Bless up, New Wave. The thumbnail can do. And the thumbnail is actually correct, but I phrased a certain way for a reason. You see what reaction thumbnail can draw out? Now, those of you who have been in this program, have been along this journey with me, know my take on this, right? So it shows you in life, you shouldn't draw conclusions on things until you have information at your disposal to inform your view. Right? So this Glamour Kid person who wrote this, and I'm not even offended about what Glamour Kid did. Because if Glamour Kid had followed my program, would realize there's something built into that British reject component. Right? It's like making fun of it versus being something that I support. Because I'm British, so I'm gonna reject myself. I'm born in the UK. So I'm one of those individuals that would have been a reject. Bless up Talawa TV. Thanks for joining. So this concept, because you look at a thumbnail, and I put the thumbnail that way for a reason. Because I know it draws people's perspective. It sometimes draws the worst in us, which is what that does. Bless up Toki. Thanks for being here. And so, and it wasn't meant to be one of the thumbnail to be controversial. But Claudine asked me in my last show to talk about three things, actually. British reject, and you only have 100 characters you can put into, which is like letters into the heading. So how do you set the heading up? Bless up Jason, bless up Mindset, to capture what you want to talk about and for it to resonate, right? So this, I'm going to leave this comment up here for a while. I don't believe in the cussing thing. You can make your point out, Glamour Kid, without cussing. Right? But the point of the matter is, see how offended the person is? So what my part of my process is to bring people together, not to divide people. I think as a people, we are challenged already. We don't need to be divided. We've been divided enough by the man. We're divided up enough already. We don't need other people to divide us, right? I've gotten so many comments of my last two shows, and this one's going to be good. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. I have a lot of comments, and I'm sure people are very passionate. But this comment here is one that I digest and enjoy. Here's my philosophy in life, people. Because people sometimes see you and they think they know who you are. And they believe that the optics that they see and what they hear sometimes sort of define you as a person and who you are. My normal tendency with people is, and I think I heard Shannon Sharp say this, if you come at me hard, I'm going to come harder. If you go to the basement, I'm going to go to where there's no way below the basement. That's my philosophy in life. No matter what my life has entailed, and sometimes you got to compromise. But this comment is an interesting one. The person have no idea what I'm going to talk about, what that comment is. They draw their conclusion, because that's how we are as people. We don't get evidence to inform our view. And what we do is we make decisions based on what we think we know, when sometimes we don't know. Bless up, job bless. Bless up, Pastor. Thanks for being here, Rob Smith. So Rob Smith said, Diaspora is definitely the source of division currently. You might not agree, but that's how I see it. And that's, look, Rob Smith, that's your perspective. Maybe you can enlighten me. I want to do a couple of things, because as I go through this process, I'm saying sometimes these shows get stale And we need to sort of change the narrative. We need to be more deductive. We need to think about things with much more inquisitiveness. We sort of get stuck in this rut and just doing the same thing over and over again. So I have a couple of things I want you guys to do. And by the way, people, when I first came in, there was like 10 likes and 4 people in the chat. Now we have 25 likes and 37 people. That's not good. But this show should be interesting because I know it's going to be controversial. You can know before you start a show where it's going to go, you know, just based on the nature of the topic. What people like. So, and we're going to have people in diaspora. I'm not going to take these comments lightly. And people who are in Jamaica are set in their views about certain things, right? And even some people in diaspora believe that diaspora are also a part of the problem. If there's a problem, everyone is involved in that problem, and we're not coming up with solutions. We're just exacerbating. I should say, not ostracizing. We're exacerbating the situation. We're not making it better. We're making it worse, right? And there are a number of things that's on my mind. So. And I was planning to talk about EPL today. I was going to talk about my Knicks and the fact they played their first preseason game today. But sometimes you guys drive the direction of the conversation. So Rob Smith. So Rob, maybe you can elaborate, Rob. You can elaborate. Because the diaspora is part of the problem. I disagree. I agree. So I give an example. They're part of the problem. A lot of the guns that get to Jamaica that ultimately end up taking people's lives come from the diaspora. But a number of the people who left Jamaica to come here didn't come here with good intentions. They didn't come here to make a legal income. They came here to do things illegal, and sending back guns is part of that. We'll get to all of that. So here's I have a question for you people. So as you think about it, do me a favor. So this is 2 things, which is, one is, and this is not about reggae boys or Jamaica, because I've been thinking about this today. Tell me one thing you totally have distaste for, totally hate, totally dislike. And tell me one thing which totally puzzles you. Right? So there's 2 things. One thing you abhor, you have distaste for, you dislike, and one thing which totally puzzles you, and it's not logical, and you can't get your head around it. I'm curious to hear what people come up with. So think about it and come back to me. For example, anytime you speak about Antonio, no matter how he plays, your attack. Rob Smith, that's crap. Let me say that again, Rob Smith, that's crap. And people like you have your own narrative about these things. Go listen to my tapes. Go listen to my tapes when I talk. And I don't always compliment. We talking about I was complimenting Lowe. Why is it that Lowe was mad at me way back when to say I was getting a red card? Who brought up the fact that Lowe has 1 yellow card every 3 games? You guys have your own narrative. You're small-minded about how you think, and nobody can tell you to think any differently. And that's your prerogative. But I keep telling you guys, these people, the facts, Rob Smith, doesn't back up what you say. Yes, I said if Antonio not scoring, I've said that previous to the last couple of games. We should think about, you know what? Should he be starting? He didn't score in 8 games straight. Hello? What's so bad about that? No, I'm understanding you. You say I compliment Lowe and I denigrate Antonio. That's what you're saying. That's not ambiguity in that comment. That's nonsense. I give Antonio credit when he deserves it, and I criticize. Here's the thing, people. We can't have this. We can't have this in how we operate, which is, you know what? What I like, I don't criticize. And what I don't like, I criticize all the time. That is not me. Go back and look at my program. Oh, okay. So Rob Smith, then again, I have to see. I did what a kid did earlier, because I thought. So you see, writing is always not the best thing. See, I did what was his name did earlier. Glamour Kid. This is what Glamour Kid said, right? So Rob Smith just showed me and called me out. Glamour Kid said, "Cranky, you are a reject. Leave my UK brothers and sisters alone." XYZ, right? And you guys know I'm born in the UK. I've talked about that. I am a supporter of everyone based on meritocracy. He believes my thumbnail was being negative, right? The thumbnail can't be written long-winded. If you read the comments that supports this, it tells you what I'm going to talk about. But nobody goes into the YouTube and read the comments that informs the title. They just read the title. And that's fine. People make mistakes, right? Rob Smith just says that, here's what Rob Smith says. Exactly, right? Which is, so I apologize, Rob Smith, because I think it the other way. Same thing that I just accused Glamour Kid of doing, same thing I just did. But it's what you write and how it's read. What you're saying is, look, and that's what I'm saying, Rob Smith. Every time I talk about Antonio, because I said he probably should be considered not starting because he didn't score in 8 games in a row, he didn't score in Gold Cup, people are wanting to have my head for that. Because he plays in the EPL, he can't do nothing wrong. If I mention maybe Dixon should start instead of Antonio, I am destroyed, right? Which I find really interesting. People, you guys have not come up with my perspective now. What is one thing you hate? What is one thing you hate, people, right? You do abhor, you have distaste for, you can't stand. And what is one thing which puzzles you and you can never get your mind around? Bless up Coach's Desk. And let me know if you want to join Coach's Desk. So, and Talawa TV too. Because these are going to be interesting discussion. Because I love contrary views, right? I have views on the coach, and I have what 2 or 4 videos I'm going to dissect and bifurcate and go into as it relates to the coach. Things that what he said in his first press conference, in his second press conference. Well, when he first got hired, first time he came for the first window, and then this one. James Gooden saying, the way I see it, all want to be a hero. Some consider the heritage players to be voiceless. They came to the defense. Others view local. Yes, I agree. And you know what, people? I'm going to say this, and you guys may not let me say this. I hate the term heritage players. Who did you know what coined that name? Like calling people African American. If you're a white South African and you came to the US to live from you're 15 years old, are you African American? Like, we come up with these terms to sensitize people. No, we're no damn heritage person. When even if you're not Jamaican, so when you call somebody who's not Jamaican, they're Haitian, they come to Jamaica and they get the citizenship. What do they call? What do they call? I don't like heritage player. I don't know where McClaren get this bullshit name from. Can you tell me I'm just perturbed about it? I ain't no heritage. I don't care what you want. Don't tell me about heritage mean. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me, because I know what it means. We don't know heritage player. I'm a Jamaican. Done with the heritage bullshit. McClaren and his nonsense. So naturally say, it's one thing to say, people, people have an agenda, and people are gonna start this program, go to my agenda, I don't just jump on it, so just gone. Haitian Jamaican, they Jamaican, well, maybe. So they British Jamaicans then. Nah, they British Jamaican then. I agree, Dwight, but everybody think it does. Everyone think it tells you the whole story. And I don't see them heritage people, they call them. God Jamaica, shoot up the Jamaica. I don't see them have gun killing off people. I don't see them make people afraid to go back to Jamaica to live who have migrated and then have done okay and want to go back home. I don't see them doing that. So the people who are local, who have all these things about, diaspora, they're part of the problem. So where Claudine? Claudine is not here. Hey, Claudine, you have me doing these controversial topics, And let me get beaten. You're not here, Claudine. That's not a good thing. People, we have 45 likes. We have 86 watching. Please hit the like button, because I have a lot to talk about, especially about the coach. So let's go with the British. Let's start with the British reject thing. That's important. The reason why I brought this up is this, which is, and not only brought up, Claudine asked me to talk about it, but she's not here because we're going to have her roll with it. But here's my point on this, which is, and the coach is part of the problem, actually, when it comes to this. Because that's what the coach basically said. The young people don't want to play. We should focus on the ones, and we'll go through his thing. And you know what? I'm not going to paraphrase it. We'll go through what he says. He's part of the problem. So here's my view on that, about this whole British reject. I don't hear Americans calling people who they source from overseas, and they've been doing it from the Ernest Stewart days way back when, in the early 90s. Them call them Holland rejects or British rejects or whatever rejects, Mexican rejects. I don't hear them get those names, right? All they want to do is win. They want the best players to win. So that is a derogatory term. Not every player who come to play for Jamaica want to play when they know they can get a call up for England, frankly. Because as I told you before, I had 14 names of players. One of them, the captain of the under 21, or under 21, under 18 for Ajax. And we all know what Ajax is. who couldn't get a Jamaica under 20 team that got 9 love, 3 love, and 3 love, right? Couldn't get in because we have our quota system, and we're proud of our quota system, right? So they were Jamaica. They are Jamaica rejects. Those players are Jamaica rejects, but they couldn't get into the team. We had a brilliant players who were there, who played, and it's not about the under 20 players. It's about these are facts. These things are not made up, right? I have the list. Somebody sent me the list. Went through the list. I was like, these names, and then I heard we were told, oh, these clubs didn't want to release these players. Only one player from Derby County was not going to be released. The rest of them, there was not a problem. Now, everyone didn't have their citizenship, but most of them did. That's what my understanding. Or we don't push to get it. So here's another question for you people, since I'm jumping around. We're talking about this British reject. When the coach comes and says, come and play his tapes, when he comes and says, and if I sound perturbed and upset, yeah, it is what it is. Can't help myself. When he comes and says that he brings certain players in for experience, so I'm going to call names. So, for example, he brings in Reed for experience, right? Because he's young. I don't think Dixon's for experience. Dixon just gets into the team because he's supposed to be playing well. How many young players who are born outside Jamaica who have significant potential, Brandon Cover, Splat, you can name them, right? I can go to the list I have here, have been brought in to gain experience, have even been considered to gain experience. Their potential have been, some of these kids want to play for Jamaica, right? We know this. Now, do they want to play for the senior team and get capped? I don't know. But at least we know they want to play for the junior team. How many of them have been brought in? We see Lembakisi come in. We see Anderson come in. So we know some of the young kids want to play. This thing about what McClaren says is hogwash, nonsense. Some want to play for England and say they're going to play for England until they get old and gray. Others have nothing to do with England. So McClaren said it's nonsense. Let me just say that. Or partial nonsense, since he's partially right. Right? So this idea that these kids are rejects, and here's another thing, people. I'm gonna give you an analogy. So if somebody's a billionaire, they have a Bentley, they have a Lamborghini, and they have a Chrysler 3000, right? Which is a different kind of car, but a decent car. And they say, you know what? I don't want to Chrysler 3000 no more. So then reject it. And you only have a Hyundai or a bicycle. Would you take it? Now, the analogy may not be the best analogy. The point is, even the ones you want to denigrate and belittle are better than what you have. And that is not debatable. So, and when they become citizen, you should just bite your tongue and deal with it if you don't like it. Because they're citizens. Countries make people citizens based on the criteria they have. When they become citizens, they're entitled to all rights and privilege afforded a citizen in that country. So if you have a football team and a player who had eligibility to play for England decided not to play for England at 27, 28, and the coach didn't think they're good enough, why are they a reject? And some of the people who are calling reject, like the toxic boss son, he's a reject. Jamaica rejected him. He wanted to hatch on to his step brother to go play for Jamaica. That didn't work. JFF wasn't having that. People like that are divisive. They're not adding any value. They're not adding any value. Calling people reject is not a good thing. What do they reject from? They qualify to be a citizen and they have to play football really well. Why are you calling them rejects? Reject means like an error or something that you don't like or something that should be thrown out. Why are we calling them rejects? That logic escapes me. And it's frustrating. So calling people reject is just, yeah. Cranky. Ian Frey should get called up. Man, said the kid is top talent. Yeah, I heard that Tycoon, it's my understanding, because somebody corrected me on this, that the kid was approached and the kid saying not ready yet. Right? So my understanding, that's what I'm hearing, whether it's right or not. It's a decent source I got it from. I say it's a decent source because people text me with stuff sometimes and I respect the source. is a credible source who says the kid was approached. You know, people, here's the thing. Sometimes kids just want to get their career on a good track. I was talking to a friend of mine about one of their kids and what the kid is doing. And the kid is now in negotiation for a contract. And the kid don't want to do nothing to mess that up. Nothing. They just want to get in, embed themselves, solidify themselves in the club. Then they can think about anything else. That's how it should be for the kids. We're in ourselves sometimes on our feelings when we believe they should just come play because we want them to come play. And they have the ability to play. Hey, Mr. Florida, bless up. Oh, we don't watch right now, Mr. Florida, because no, you're just down south anyway, so it look a bit better. But bless up. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So I don't understand this thing where, and we're gonna get into some of those people who didn't take up the call up this time around, where you're beating somebody because that person decides, you know what, I don't want to play for Jamaica. Or they say, you know what, I came and this is for Urchins, for example. I came, I played in some mud hole. This is my take on it. I played with some people who are not that good. We couldn't beat a Trinidad Caribbean team. A long journey. And sure. And people that stayed there cuss me out. I'm only just 20. They can't take the negative this time. I'm not come back. That's his prerogative. No, Eagle, I heard recently. I got a text. When I had my last show on Friday, I got a text about that. No, it's not Friday. Friday I did the by the way, people, tell me if you don't like my the thing I did on no. Let me correct that. Can we get some even feedback for the program I did about the statutory declarations for the Prime Minister? I got a lot of feedback on that. So those of you who didn't give me any feedback, give me a view as to how you think. Should I do more of these, or should I just let them think they're alone? If we want to come back to Jamaica, let me know. If what's not right, Tycoon? What are you talking about, Tycoon? What's not right? In Tycoon, what are you talking about? Something is not right. So Brian says I should do more. It was great. I want to do more. We'll see Brian. Copy back. Hey, somebody at Jamaica text me now and them say, hey, we love it, my youth, but we can't do it at Jamaica. So people, I'm gonna go all over the place tonight. Cause I could do a 4 program tonight easily and I didn't sweat. Seriously. People hit the like button. All right, Brian said I'll do more, Brian. I'll do more. There's a sweet one, Brian, come up. Which I'm doing some research on now. Really good one, actually. I have to do another week or 2 of research. Somebody sent me some materials yesterday. Because people stop sending material and people have to substantiate them. I'll call your number. All right. Let me get call your number. Boy, this program gone to hell on high water, you know, because I had a certain way of thinking about doing this. All of a sudden, said the number on the bottom star. I've lost control of my program totally. Yes, Conrad, them boo the youth. Some of them want you to complain and them boo him. Eh? No, them want to complain. I know. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. No, we are talking about the coach, you know. The coach now get where. I end up on the thumbnail for a reason. And the thumbnail not fake people. That's the British reject, where what's his name, Glamour Kid got all excited about. I was on the side of British reject, supposedly British rejects. They're not rejects. I wasn't saying something negative. I have a problem here. Wow. Dwight, I have a problem. My something is wrong with my thing. Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. Give me 1 second. I forgot to set up my audio. Not my audio. Oh, yeah. All right, let me see. I have a problem. Let me see. Can you hear me? Something is wrong with my audio. I'm using a different I have a problem with the phone, people. I was using Firefox and now I'm using Chrome and the call is not coming through my system. Hello? Hey, Dwight, can you hear me? I'm gonna try to call you back, Dwight. Yeah, you can't hear me. I know what's happening, people. My phone is not working the way it's supposed to work. So my Bluetooth. Okay, let me try this again. All right, it should work now. Try again. You know what? Let me try to call him back. It should work now. Let me try and call him back.
Yes, Cranky.
Yes. Good evening. What do you have to say?
It's not too much. So I don't want to mash up the agenda of your show. So which topic?
It mash up already.
All right. So me touch on the McClaren and then talk about the other thing. So in general, where I posted it, where a player is born is not telling the full story. Right? What a lot of people should know this, right? There are a lot of people who, just like you, who are born outside of Jamaica, who were raised in Jamaica and live somewhere else. So you don't pay attention to where somebody is born. Pay attention to their commitment and their connection. Because right now, if anybody check the schoolboy football league, there's enough players who are born in the States that are playing schoolboy football. Why? Them parents prefer for them to go to school in the state in Jamaica. Simple. Yep. Right? So look at it on a case-by-case basis. The youth that's at Ajax or whatever, don't pay attention to where he's born. Look whether he wants to play for Jamaica and his commitment, right? Yeah. Because the whole thing when you look at where somebody is born is not that just tell you where their parents were and wanted to have the kid. So that is number one. Number two, with McClaren, I had this issue with McClaren. I'm gonna call him Grandpa Steve, right? Because that's all, Grandpa Steve. This thing with Grandpa Steve, talk about we shouldn't chase this player him too young, brother.
No. Yeah, jump ahead. Me have video of a play and then we go over it. All right. Jump ahead. Don't jump ahead. I have nothing. I play 3 video tonight. And me allowed to play. Come and tell me I was allowed to play. Yeah, so we play the video them do I? No video. We play them. Because Grandpa Steve, as I call him, or I'm gonna call him Grandpa, because when you're seasoned like me, you can't be calling people Grandpa. So
no. But when he's forgetful and he needs to look at Marion and Simon, like he don't know what them I said, right?
Yeah, no, he said certain things which are contrary to what he has said previously. We're gonna go through all of that. So yeah, right. you pointed a great point actually, which is yes, we're going through that. We're gonna go through all of that.
All right. So number one, where a player is born doesn't tell the true story. So that's the first part. I will stick with solid on that. Chase the committed players. If they're in Jamaica, chase the ones that are committed. If they're in Trinidad, chase the ones in the US. If they're in the US, Canada, focus on the committed one. And as a lot of people, and you hit it on the spot on with Frey and Hutchinson. A lot of people don't realize these guys' first contract when they're 16 and coming through the academy might be about, let's call it 250, 300 pounds per season.
Yep.
That second contract is when them start hit the good money that them can lock into the pension, the English player, professional player union pension, and they can really settle in. You have to play it smart on when you go play international football for any country at that point, right? So
somebody's asking that question, Dwight. So how do you measure commitment? I'm going to answer that. I have an answer, but I'll let you answer that.
How do I measure commitment with international football? Well, okay, with international football, meaning when the player is called, he responds to the messages with the JFF and says, I'm available for XYZ reason, or I'm coming. If he provides no response, that's not a good sign. The second, to me, the most important sign, the other sign, whether you committed or not, do you have your Jamaican passport? Because in my opinion, if you are 18 years old and you care, go get your Jamaican passport.
Right.
You shouldn't have to wait for the JFF, because JFF is not responsible for digging up your whole family thing and knowing who your grandfather, your mother, your father are yours. You're the player responsible. So if the minute you buck up 18 and you say, you know what, man, think about international football. Whoever you want to pay for, go get that passport yourself. It's not the JFF job, right? You should have your passport, because when the time comes for them to call you, and I will tell you, for a lot of these younger players, the next opportunity will probably be the Gold Cup.
Right.
They shouldn't be processing documents. You should have your documents.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a little bit more complex than that. So we can go down a lot of different rabbit holes on this. But some of those kids you're talking about, not all of them, some of them. So you got to bifurcate them in different tranches, right? some have had a lot of exposure to Jamaica. And they love Jamaica. True. That's all they've exposed. If you listen to people like Robbie, who's another generation, actually, you know, Robbie always wearing Jamaica gear or talking Jamaica patois, right? He was do a dancehall DJ type in the back days. If you hear people like there's a kid from Manu name, his name is slipping me. You can tell I don't know why his name is slipping me now. He comes on Talk Sports too, and he's on his own Manu channel. You can tell that they are embedded in Jamaican culture and how it works. Yes. There are other kids who haven't had the exposure, even though one of their parent or grandparent may be in Jamaica, right? But they may be very good footballers. So when you approach them, it may take a while for them to digest what you're trying to say. And there are some, because we know how Jamaican fathers are. You guys may not like this, but you know, stand up to the responsibility. No foul. So you know, I have the picnic with the lady them and they disappear. And they may be Jamaican fathers and their mothers may be British. They don't have that connection. And then we expect them to come play for Jamaica because they have Jamaica heritage when they had no father. They probably have resentment against Jamaica because of their father.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's spot on. I think that's spot on also.
So I think it's much more complex. And I think we are very egotistical. We're very egotistical when we come to the view that, you know what? If you have any Jamaican heritage, you should come play for us and only us alone and forsake where you were born and forsake everything else. Because we're Jamaica and we are the only priority and we are the only ones who are important. And if you have the audacity to say, you know what? I was born in England, so I want to play for England. And you know what? Maybe when I'm 27, 28, it ain't working out. Is Jamaica still available? I'll come play for Jamaica. Some of those kids are not, even when they're 27, 28, they're not rushing to play for Jamaica. We're the one asking them. They're not saying I want to come play and I'm desperate to go play. Right? Troy Dean is saying, no, I don't know Jamaica because his father probably wasn't around. I don't know Jamaica. I'm not coming to play for Jamaica. Right? And we take it personal. Why?
Yeah, it's a connection. The familiar connection makes a big difference. It does make a difference. And then Cracky, I'll tell you some cases. I know youth's father died when they were young, right? Months before they were born or a year before. So they don't really know their father. As they go into adulthood, they say, you know what? Their mothers are not Jamaican. The mothers never took them to Jamaica, right? Because that's not where the support system is.
Yep.
And then say, you know what? I'm going to make the effort to go there. And they're reaching out and said, I'm trying to learn the country. Then when people call them, when they get called and people tell them, you're not Jamaican, people don't understand how that mash up them youth.
Yeah.
It really does a psychological thing where them like, hold on. All right, me try to reach out because of whatever reason. The father could have sick, could have had cancer, all this. And so now me as an adult is taking the responsibility on myself to learn it. And the first thing when we come there, forget me not Jamaican. Come on, we have to do better than that. That's why it should be an individual, case-by-case basis, whether they're committed or whether they want to pay for Jamaica or not. And hold on, the Canadian team, half the Canadian team have Jamaican roots.
So why aren't we pressuring them to come play for Jamaica?
Exactly.
Right? And they're closer. They have less excuse because they're right across the border. They're closer than some places, right? They're right across the border. So why aren't we pressuring them? And some of them are good enough to play for Jamaica and good like some of the English players that we bring into the team.
For example, let me look out a name. Kyle Laren, father Jamaican, everything. Right. But Laren, the Claren's relationship with his father wasn't good. So when the choice came, Laren said, you know what, brother, I don't want to discuss and dig into that and go all into that. I mean, and then when people ask Laren, you Jamaican, they go, yeah, I know the food and everything else, but play for Jamaica? No, go happen. Do I have family in Jamaica? Yeah, but I'm not going to play for Jamaica. And nobody a bash Laren.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, the father situation is a problem. Because a lot of times they're the ones having a bunch of kids. They're the ones having kids all over the place, and they have no relationship with the kids. And those kids may come out to be athletes, and then it becomes an issue when someone said they have Jamaican heritage, but they don't want to play for Jamaica, and we bash them without knowing the full circumstances surrounding their situation.
Because just like with any professional athlete, you have this person. I mean, I would say father or mother who wasn't in your life, but just whichever wasn't in your life. I know. Oops, you book up on your first $1 million paycheck. I know him will show up again.
Yeah.
Right? The man go feel away. Right? Man, I go feel away. Right? As much as you want to say, the man I go feel away. So people have to look at the case-by-case basis on how it is. And to tell the truth, it also affects some of the youth that are on the island. Listen, them go there, them Jamaican father wasn't in them life. And guess what? Then get them first like a bus contract and go overseas. Brother, we don't have time to deal with the JFF, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
There are a lot of factors. It's not even only about association, country, parent situation. It also could be just the administration and how they operate historically.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that some of these players who come in and have like certain experiences do you think Hutch is gonna go back and say, you know what? Hey, Mothersill, I love Jamaica. It was a wonderful experience. I got Bodie National Stadium. I played in a pothole down in Montego Bay. Right? The hotel room was wonderful. It's beautiful. Didn't have any roommates. I had a room by myself. It was luxurious. Do you think they're going back and saying those things? Really? When in England, they go play for England, that's all they're used to. It's treated like a king.
Well, Frankie, let me give you something that surprised me this summer, right? So first of all, anybody who talks to them should give them a realistic impression.
Yeah.
Jamaica doesn't have the funds to put you in a 5-star hotel room. You're going to be paying 2 or 3 stars, especially at the youth level. You're going to have a room in the next one. But I'll tell you something that caught my attention. West Ham and Wolverhampton came here to Florida. They stayed at the Courtyard Hotel, Hampton, and that next one was at Hampton Inn. Right. And then I think one of them went to Doubletree. Brother, I have been in this city for business trip. You not put me in the Hampton. No. So I was surprised that
Well, I'll say this, I'm not as elitist as you. I've stayed in Hampton Inn, driving to Atlanta, reaching certain towns, can't driving it further. I just go to the first hotel I see with my nose stuffed because you have no choice. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
but brother,
but not on business trips. Not on business trips.
Let me give you a good example. I either was coming from New York or coming up from Atlanta, going to Richmond, Virginia. Brother, and then put me in a hotel. We tell them, say, brother, you have to stay 2 hours away. We not come back till Thursday because this not gonna work.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Right?
Yeah, man.
But I was quite surprised at the hotels that West Ham and Wolverhampton stayed at because I was thinking, hold on, man. Big player like that should have been. There's 2 nice hotels where the NFL teams play. But yeah, that's surprised.
But sometimes they may have booked late, That's possible part of the problem. You have a large contingent, you book late, you just take what's left.
True.
Yeah.
But in those situations, they were sharing roommates. It's just the courtyard the courtyard that's closest to me is just like the courtyard in Kingston. It's not flashy. It's basic, good lobby, everything else. You're cool.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So when a player comes from England and say he need big room and everything, brother, cool yourself.
Well, no, they haven't said that, I'm just the one just giving an example, right? Because I know it's not the English people complaining about the rooms, In fact, people, you guys remember this. You guys think about this. These English players, when they're in the national team, they're not complaining about anything. It's almost like they know their place and they know no steer. When they may finish playing, right? When they finish playing, you may hear some of them come out, like a Bedford, and others come on and say something, right? But while you tell me if you hear any British-born player who's naturalized Jamaican citizen, while they're playing, coming out in the more recent number of years, hitting out against anything. Them just hold him corner. Most of them just hold him corner.
Yeah.
It's the Jamaican players you will hear say something. Because they feel that they can. I think the British players cannot figure out for a couple of reasons. One is it may be how they are indoctrinated about keeping things internal, or maybe they realize, this may not be the best situation to talk, given facts and circumstances.
The how and when is they might handle better. But
yeah.
But Cracky, at the end of the day, this is the thing. As long as the team has committed players and the players are united, because I tell you what, I see the U17s.
Right.
They come from all over the place. You don't hear no bickering anymore. The U17s remind me of when we used to link up with my cousin, and we just said, man, link up with my cousin then. We born all over the place, relatively.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But we are cousin, let's go roll some football.
Yeah.
Right? Some of our uncles and our father have more money than next, but guess what? We are one people.
No, agree.
Right?
Agree.
So the last point that I'll say, McClaren talking up, this is where McClaren lose me off, right? If McClaren is not willing to go toe-to-toe with England for any player with a Jamaican passport, brother, look, just cut up the contract.
All right.
Because I will say, if Jamaica face England in the group stages, we don't want to know. Grandpa Steven better know exactly which side of my chair in my country.
Yeah. So let me. Dwight, thanks for the call. I'm gonna go through the videos now because it's important.
All right, cool.
Yeah, man. Dwight, I appreciate the call. Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, DJ Exquisite. And DJ, let me say this, DJ Exquisite, quickly. When you should actually accept the question when you were going there, DJ Exquisite. How do I say? When you never strap it up, DJ Exquisite, not to be, then you know you run the risk. You know you did. So I don't know why I try to justify that. Whether you want or not is yours. You went there. You know better. And don't go there then. Anyway, let me play some taste people. And then this is some McClaren information, right? Because I want to go back for history. When McClaren first joined, the initial press conference, the subsequent press conference, and the more recent one. We're going to talk about this a little bit because I think it's important. I want to bring out some things that I definitely want to bring out. Oh, Lord. I'm not taking any calls now, people. I'm not taking any calls now. I'm going to go through this and then you can call me back later. Sorry.
Dream job to come to Jamaica. What would have been that determining final thing? I'm certain that you would have slept on it or thinking in your mind if this is a good thing for you or what. What would have been that tilting factor for you accepting the job in the end?
Yeah, I mean, look, my ex-assistant and now head coach at Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag, approached me to join his staff 2 years ago. And it was like full circle for me from 20 years ago, working with Sir Alex Ferguson, 20 years later, working with Eric Ten Hag. And I've got to thank Eric, especially, for giving me that opportunity at Manchester United. And it was hard work for 2 years and many ups and downs, and that's football. And we will have this year as well over the next 18 months. Ups and downs, but we must stick together. And that's what we did at Manchester United. And I must thank Eric giving me the opportunity to do that. And really, when this job came up and I thought about it, it was a new challenge for me, and that's what I needed. I felt I'd done my job. I'd been there 2 years. I'd helped Eric to establish himself in the Premier League, establish himself at Manchester United, to know what Manchester United was all about. We won the Carabao Cup in the first year, Champions League football. Second year, we suffered, but we finished the season on a high with an FA Cup final. And I thought it was the ideal time to leave Manchester United on such a high. But I was so excited about the opportunity here and what I knew was here. And I knew the potential. I knew the talent. I knew what the JFF were working towards. They've been doing that for the last 2-3 years since I joined the ecosystem. And I love a challenge. And it's an exciting one. It's a World Cup. It's a World Cup. When I look at the history, 98 was the last time Jamaica was in the World Cup. The World Cups I've been to 2002, 2006 in Japan and Germany, even the Euros with England. You can't believe what an absolute unbelievable experience a World Cup.
So my reason for playing that is this, people, which the coach says he joined, and his main thing was that, I'm a paraphrase my way, the quality of the players that he knows that we have, both in the diaspora and on the island of Jamaica. Right? Now, here's my question to the coach. If it's based on, he needs a new challenge, but he may not have had a job. I'm not buying a new challenge. You guys can buy a new challenge. Tenure was coming in. Van Nistelrooy was going to be there. They may not have needed services. So if you want to say it's a new challenge you need a new challenge. But the reason why I have the thumbnail about it being a retirement job and easy to touch, this is part of the reason. So you came in with the perspective of, I'm coming in, And I know these players that this country has and the quality of those players. And given the quality that they have, I believe I can take them to the World Cup, right? Which then seems to, and he knows the quality on the island, but he has no idea who Whisper is, which is interesting. He said he has, I'm going to go watch you some of these tapes now. He said he has watched Jamaica. He's been talking to Speed for the last 2 years. He knows Jamaica. He knows the talent, right? And we'll go through this in detail, which is, I'm not sure that's the case. The facts don't suggest that. Because every single time we'll go through these tapes, single time the coach talks, he says he goes to Merron, he goes to Merron, he goes to Merron, he goes to Merron. If you know the players, if you've been following the team for all these years, as you suggest, because it's been since COVID, you should know some of these players. You've been given the 50-man list. You should know some of these players. Do you really know the players? You've also restricted the breadth of players that you can source, because you're saying if they're young, they should play for England. And we're going to play that tape. That's right. So when you join because of the players, is it the existing players or there now? Which players are you talking about? You said you know the players. You know the structure. You know the potential. You only live on the goddamn island. How are you going to see no players down there? You did your talent assessment situation remotely. You've been to Jamaica a couple of times. You saw Reed play one time. You see you like him. I have another question for you people. Which player has he said he doesn't like? Every player the man get recommended same like. I saw this player, I like this player. I saw Reed, I like him. I saw Taven Green a little bit, I like him. I said John Bill a little bit, I like him. Now, it's not right for coaches to come and say they don't like a player, but every player he likes. It's crazy. And we're getting some of these other things, because people think something you're beating certain people. We ain't beating nobody. We're bringing out facts things that we see. Bless up, Ernest. Thanks for joining. We're bringing out what we see, people. And if you don't like what we're bringing out, then it's your prerogative. But I'm calling it like I see it. Because when I see certain things that don't align well to me, I'm going to call it out. And this coach, so he comes in, right? He sees Jamaica potential. By the way, he's been in a short period, so we got to give him time. He's been here, since August, September. You know when he said when he goes back, he's going to talk to all the, we'll get, you know, maybe the next tape, I'm going to get into this, guy. This is just funny. I don't understand this. I'm going to play the next tape, people.
A part A to that question, could you share with us as much as you could, your talks and negotiation with either of those players? There's no problem if we fail, but what was the effort that was made? You could tell us that. And outside of that, if you could just update us on the progress with other key EPL heritage players, the likes of Tyreek Mitchell, Kyle Walker-Peters, Max Aarons, as much as you can. I know this talks as a lot of times private.
I think it's simple, and I try to keep everything simple. In one respect, you're right. It's about recruitment, looking at heritage players on one side. And it's difficult because on the list that I have, about 50.
Let me say this, people. He said it's about recruiting heritage players. He didn't say recruiting players who were born in Jamaica, you know. And the man said he knows the talent, and there's a lot of talent on the island. He said heritage players. I mean, him said not but recruit people on the island. Right? Can't live in England. He can't see them from England. He see them on TV. He see some of them speed show him. He can't see from England. So where's the players he's going to recruit that are locally born players who may have the potential, those need some grooming to get to the next level? Where are they? He just said heritage players. And then he narrowed down that heritage player number. You'll hear him to those who can no longer probably play for England. Because it's right for them if they're young to want to play for England. Tell me if I make things up, people. Tell me if I make things up, because sometimes the sound is going to go on.
50 names. But many of them are 23, 24 and under. Good young players. And their ambition, as they're born in England, is to play for England. And that is right. So it's very, very difficult to recruit them type.
So I don't understand that nonsense. Their ambition to play for England, which is right, and that is right. There's a different way to position that. It's their prerogative to play for England if they want to play for England. Some of them don't want to play for England. We know this for a fact. Because Lambakisi and Anderson wouldn't be here if they want to play for England. They could have waited until 26, 27. Right? A number of them will come for the under 20. Some may want to play for England. We don't know. But I'm sure some want to play for Jamaica. This definitive answer that they want to play for England because they're 23 or 24 is nonsense. The facts have not shown that. Now, you may think that it does. No, it hasn't. Because part of the problem that we have is we have a quota for the under 20. So a lot of them probably get discouraged when they go to the process and get their papers and they don't get to be in the team. Why would they come back? Or some, when they come, they don't get game time because we're prioritizing locally born players. So why should they come back? This concept that it's right for them to want to play for England, that's right. That's what they should do. That's nonsense. Maybe he misspoke and maybe I'm making too much of this, but I didn't like that. In fact, I totally dislike that comment. I don't think the comment make any sense. It is their right to do so, but you as a coach saying it's right. So who are you recruiting, coach? Who are you recruiting? Come in here, recruit nobody. Let me ask another question, people, before we go further. What does McClaren do when he goes back to England? How does JFF oversee McClaren and his activities, what he does? Does he give them a report to say what he's doing? I haven't heard McClaren say, we'll go through these. He's gone to a game to watch a player. Or he's going to look at some potential recruit. Or he's having significant discussion with some potential players out there. What he talks about is that he's talked to Greenwood. That's all I'm hearing. He's talked to Hutchinson. He's talked to the other kid, Muddersill. No, he's not Muddersill. Kalamari. I haven't heard him talk to anybody else. There's a bunch of the players. He got 50 on the list. Is he working through that list? We have no idea. And you people in traditional media, the only person that media players asking questions that I think make any damn sense is Cataract. Nobody asks any question which I can say, you know what? Wow, that's a very good question. Man, that's a brilliant question. Everybody want to make the coach feel like he's at home. This ain't no homecoming. We want you to get the best team on the field, put them in the best position to win and to win. We're not here to appease you, coach. I'm sorry. And if you guys in the traditional media can do your job, let somebody else do it. They Cataract ask the question them. Make Cataract ask that question. Because now waste time. We're not waste time. Seriously, not waste time. We're not spend no time, think about the question and fear ask, which is important. We're going to get to some of the things the coach talked about the last time he came here. Not the last time. This time around Nicholson, around Bailey, around Lowe. And even about Reed. I don't know, make no sense. Let me keep playing this.
Of players. So we're looking at more mature players who come to that point of, okay, I may not play for England, but there's an option. So that's what we look at. And I spoke to many of the younger players as well.
Who wants to be thought of as a last resort? That's why people in Jamaica get upset. And rightly so sometimes, right? I've always said it's the player's prerogative to determine what they want to play for. If they're born in England, that's their prerogative. I don't want my national team coach to come saying that. Then you know what? You know what it's a JFF? Why? I'm going to get myself in trouble this evening, but I don't know. We might as well just have Merron Gordon coach a team. Come on, the way I do. I thought when you come coach, even though you experience, you spend some time at Jamaica. You go around the island, you can look for the talent them. You run coaching clinics. You talk to JFF about what good looks like. Me a year come to Jamaica and I win and you go back to your yard. I don't know what you do if you're there, you also sleep 24/7. This is not a retirement job. We're not having it. It's not a retirement job. You're making about $500,000 a year. It may be a ton for being at Man U, but we're not having it. Let's go back to your yard. Sorry.
And yeah, the likes of Kadamatari, the likes of Hutchison, and they're good enough to wait for England and think they're good enough. That's fantastic attitude. So on one respect, recruitment of heritage players is difficult, but on the other respect, and what I've seen with the 14s, with the Cavaliers and with Mount Pleasant, is the quality.
People, I'm getting nauseated with this. I can't curse, can I? Let me just drink some. Let me drink some water, people. I'm not telling like people. Hey, people, let me say this. What has he seen with Cavaliers? When Cavaliers played Cincinnati, what happened, people? When Cavaliers played Cincinnati, what happened? What has he seen with Cavaliers? Who has Cavaliers played for him to draw insight and perspective about Cavaliers' ability and players who play for Cavaliers? What has he done? He's condescending, cranky. The coaches get us qualified for the World Cup, not that. AB and M. Henry, it's your prerogative to say that. We disagree. We agree to disagree. We agree to disagree. I'm calling it like I see it. You don't like it, M. Henry? Can't help you. It's not condescending. It's what I'm just using his own words. His own words I'm using. This is not something I made up. Uh-oh. Hey, Kishan, I'm going to finish this tape first, and then you can call in. I have one more tape. I'm playing this, people.
The Jamaican players is improving. And you know, so that's the key, is that we have to improve our players on the island. We have to improve the league. We have to improve the competition. We have to, and you can see the progress that's been made in terms of that. I mean, I watched the game last night, and all my staff we were so impressed with the Cavaliers, so impressed. Young players playing against very, very mature men, dominating the game, and in the end, 4-1, dominating. We've seen the 14s. How can how can you win a final 7-1? You know? So this job is twofold. Yes, get the best players that we possibly can in the short term, and yes, let's improve the young talents that are there. And what the Federation is doing, Andrew Pert, Wendell, and Mr. Speed, is they're giving youngsters a chance. And that's the key to it, is giving youngsters a chance in the competition, because you never know what they can do. And look what they did last night. So, yeah, like I said, I remember, I said it before, about 3 years ago, working with FIFA and the TDS, what could happen in Jamaica is happening. We're just here just to help that process and improve it even more.
Coach,
let me say this, people. I'm a digress and say this. I've been listening to Ta-Nehisi Coates, who is a writer. He just wrote a book called The Message, and the book talks of his experience in Senegal, down south, and in Israel. And we don't realize how much information informs our view and dictate how we think, how we operate, how we live. And that those who control information literally controls us. So in America, for example, Rupert Murdoch, who runs Fox and a bunch of other propaganda newspaper, basically is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful man in America. He's in control of the MAGA crowd, right? And if swing states decide the election, he could be running the country, but it's done very subtly. Why do I digress there? Because sometimes you have to say things which doesn't make you popular, but it needs to be said. And I'm tired of our people being manipulated and used in a certain way and not getting a return on the investments. So, me no care. Let me say this again, people. Me no care who I like what I say. Me no care who I say me negative. Me call like me see it. Does it mean I'm right? It's an opinion. It's a perspective. It's not a right or wrong situation. If you assess it, is it logical? Right? If you assess it, is my argument, does it make any sense of logical? Don't jump on either side, but cranky right or cranky wrong on XYZ. You assess my perspective. If you think it's terrible and awful and makes no sense, that's your prerogative. No, because I listed it. No, because when I'm doing programs, Ricardo, I don't just think, superficially. I don't come here and talk about things unless I do the research and I assess things and I bifurcate them and I'm parsing through them and I'm saying, okay, let me dig up what you're saying. Now, sometimes people in press conferences or put him in difficult situations, they may not say the right thing. They may use the wrong word and we parse it the wrong way, right? We see that tonight with me and some of the comments, right? But the person says, Rudolph Speed says, I'm going to call him out. The next Jamaica coach has to live in Jamaica. I thought part of that whole construct then was, you know what? He's going to contribute to Jamaica football environment. This person that you hire, who you say is a coach, yes, his primary perspective and his primary job is to get Jamaica to the World Cup. But he's working for you, paying $500,000 at a minimum a year. It's a lot of money. I don't care what anybody want to say. It's a lot of money. Even for a coach, it's a lot of money. Even though coaches make a ton, right? He's not Guardiola. He's not Arteta. So I thought what would happen is when he comes to Jamaica, he'd be going across the island, talking to the scouts, looking at players, right? He'll be helping with the direction of travel they're trying to go with the elite academy. Even though, because we only have windows, you know. What does he do when the window is closed? What does he do when the window is closed? You guys tell me, what does he do when the window is closed? Do you know? Do you think he's traveling around? Did he say when he comes and talk that he's going around traveling across the country, looking at heritage players who are on the 50 list, increasing the list with the younger players? He's going to the academy looking at players in England. He's going to Tottenham. He's going to Arsenal. He goes to West Brom. He's going to Sheffield. He's going to QPR. Does he say that? Maybe he's doing it. I don't know, but I don't know what he's doing. Does the JFF, do you know what he does when he's not in Jamaica? Because as soon as the play, look, Maverick says he hear me beat Maverick sometime. But Maverick brought that up on his program. It's too many things that he gives. In Jamaica, we look at local players, when the players and fly out. What does he do when he's not in Jamaica? He says a coach travels. Yes, they travel. What are you doing? I see Southgate, when he was England coach, at the games to look at certain players. I'm a big Arteta fan, Gunnar. I just don't think he can game manage. Don't get it wrong. Gunnar, don't get it twisted. James, don't get it twisted. I think he's a brilliant coach. Brilliant coach. I just don't like his game management. Right? What does he do when he's not in Jamaica, people? Okay, so those who say Cranky are critical, like Henry. You're disrespectful, Cranky. Can you tell me what he does when he's not in Jamaica? Can you assess what he does? Does the JFF have an office overseas where he's sitting down? Do they have tapes he's watching? Okay, let's go through this, people. Because I think say, you know what? Let's go to the next one. Because I think say, Cranky, I make up things. Me not make up nothing, make up myself. Me just get the facts them and just communicate the facts them too now. Huh? So here's this. Listen to this. This is a long one, people. This is the one now.
League, sir, there's a qualifier
I'm going to dissect it as we go through it.
Next summer as well. So the magnitude of this competition, it really shows how massive it is. So to kick things off, we're going to start with some opening remarks, and we're going to start with the head coach of the senior men's national team, Coach McClaren. Coach.
Thank you and welcome. Just a few opening remarks about the squad, which you no doubt have by now.
But by the way, people, me not care no one say. Jamaica press, then now do them job. Jamaica traditional press, now no job. We have to do them job for them. And when you're at England, this press in England is 100 times worse than any YouTuber. The English press, who are trying to sell newspaper, YouTubers don't know how to try to get views. They're 100 times worse. And these are people who have been institutionalized in England, or some of them are respected, some are hated and loathed. They're 100 times worse than YouTubers. So no, come here, come talk about say we are trying to stir up and this and do other thing. We are called what we see. If not like it, you ain't gotta watch a program.
Now, there are a few fallouts which I'll go through. We have Shamar Nicholson, who after the last camp we've had many discussions, and he never felt happy about his condition or his form. And he expressed that he felt he was way behind in terms of not having a pre-season, playing in the Copa, missed it with his club, Moscow, and he wants to build his fitness up. So what he said was that he didn't feel right, in the right form, the right level of fitness to be ready to join us on this camp. So we had many discussions about this, and what he's doing is he's building his fitness up.
Well, question. So, don't tell me, I don't believe that. Paul Edwards, you're coming like Paul Edwards. Change your thing. You're coming like TikTok and football guru. People, please hit the like button if you like the comments. It's not a more over short. This is over rim for sure. So people, I don't believe that Nicholson will just score. Nicholson will score 2 goals on the weekend, people. Nicholson will just score 2 goals. I don't buy what I'm just saying. Did Nicholson say that, or did he say that to Nicholson? Because here's how I view this. It can be cynical, right? I know I've met Nicholson. He's a really nice person, to be frank, actually. A good engagement with him. Him love play football. Him love play for Jamaica. Was it that because when him come him now get no game time? Was it that you tell him, say, look, me have to get more to you? So therefore, get a fitness coach? Or yeah, reposition thing. Because you listen to the theme of each of the conversation. And the same thing you making for Jamal Lowe, Listen to Jamal Lowe thing. Right? Look at Jamal Lowe thing and then talk to me. Talk to me, people. I'll keep playing it.
He's hired a performance coach to work with him on the fitness side. His club, his manager is helping him also to improve his fitness, giving him game time. He's played in, I think, 2 cup games so far. And he wants to be 100% Shamar Nicholson. And he doesn't feel he was at that the last camp. So I understand where he's coming from. And we hope that he gets in good condition, plays minutes for his club, starts scoring goals, and getting back to the Shamar, which we know. And so we've expressed that we'll keep in touch, review his games, his program, and we look to the next camp. So that's Shamar. Leon Bailey. Unfortunately, Leon got a hamstring injury for the last call-up. Came back from that. I think by his own admission, came back a little too early and re-injured his adductor the other day against Bayern Munich. I think everybody saw the game. He came in after 30 minutes and went out after 60 minutes. He has a problem. I don't quite know exactly what that is. The club are investigating that. Don't know whether he's fit or he's not, but he certainly has a problem. And too much of a problem to risk flying him here and risk him in the games. So he's really, really disappointed because after the last camp he missed, he didn't want to miss this one. He wants to play for Jamaica. He made that clear to me. And so he's very disappointed in that. Jamal Lowe is another one.
So I have no comment on the Bailey situation. I have no comment. Speaks for itself. I'll keep going. I have no comment on the Bailey situation. I saw him play in the game. I saw him at Bondafor, who used to be a Villa. I think he's Villa's top scorer. He basically said the player got pulled because he was keep on losing the ball in the previous game, right? I think he came on 20-something minute. Ramsey got hurt. Then he got taken off by the 60th minute. And then the last game, and Emery said he left him out. He pulled him off because I think Emery said he was hurt, right? And it was interesting that he started him the next game. He played about 60 minutes. I am confused. I have no way of how to think. I'm not going to address it. There are certain people I stay away from in terms of making comments about them. This is one of them, so I'm going to leave that alone. I know what the story is. It is what it is. The history is there. You guys can figure that one out.
One who, since the last camp, and I liked him in the last camp, he's not played minutes for his club. Again, I had quite a long conversation the last couple of days with his coach, who expressed that Jamal would be better working the next 2 weeks with his club, and like Shamar, working on his fitness and his form and his rhythm, which he lost after coming back from the last camp. So we've agreed to not bring him on this camp. It's the club's decision, and I uphold that. I have to have a good relationship with the clubs for the future. With the Shamar, I wanted him, but it's his decision that he wanted to get back to the Shamar that we know. And another one who's not included this time was last is Hector, who didn't have a club last time, but I brought him for the experience. He was tremendous in the camp, tremendous professional. And I said to him, need to start playing, need to get a club. I spoke with him the last couple of days. He's close to agreeing something. And I said, let's keep in touch. And if you get a club, you start playing football, then it's a chance to look at it again. John Russell, another one who I liked in camp. We brought him in last time. Since going back, he's not played any minutes for his club, and we need people to do that. He's a 6 or 8, and we have 8s enough in K-Roy, Bobby, and Casey Palmer. So I said, look, we'll keep you on standby if we get any problems over the weekend. But he's another one who, at this stage of the season, it's important to build your fitness, to get rhythm, to play minutes. And if you don't, then you lose a lot. And so that's the reason, basically, with Shamar, Jamal, Hector, John Russell. But Adrian Reid is another who I watched him play last night. Very impressive again. We brought him in the last camp for experience. I wanted to look at a young player. We had a look at Adrian. I liked him a lot. Tremendous boy, great around the camp, good personality, and he's playing well for Cavaliers. But I said this time we just have 1 or 2 more experienced players that we need for the next 2 games. So he understood that. We keep in touch. So they're the ones who are out. The ones who come in, we have.
First of all, I'm confused about that, actually, in terms of we have 1 or 2 more experienced players. What are we talking about? In the midfield, we're talking about positions. Defense, midfield, and forward line. Who we have in the midfield that wasn't there before, where you're going to say Adrian Reid shouldn't come in because we have more experienced players? What are we talking about? I think we only have like 4 or 5 midfielders in the team. You didn't bring in any. What new midfielder did you bring in, Coach? Bobby Reid was always going to play 8, Latti the 6, and Palmer the 10. McGee came in to play the 10. So I'm a little bit confused. Is Adrian 8 or possibly a 6? And you like him a lot? Is there a difference between like him a lot and I like him? If you like him a lot, why is he not in the squad? If you like him a lot, why is he not in the squad? I don't get that. I'm struggling with that. And the Jamalo situation, you didn't call Jamalo. That to me is also confusing. Because no, you didn't call him because I have a paper here of the Star in the UK saying Bernard was called, but Lowe wasn't called. And you say you want a good relationship with the coach. First of all, FIFA rules mandate that clubs have to release players in FIFA windows. So the coach have no control over that. Yes, teams would have a good relationship with coach, but it's your prerogative not to call him. It is not the fact that the coach can stop you from calling him because he's not injured. And if you made a request in time to call him, and I'm assuming that you did, if you give him the window you're supposed to call him, I don't understand why you're not calling him. He ain't playing no game. I mean, yeah, he may play a game, but he had 2 games to play here. You can get him fit, really? I find that interesting and strange, but it's just me.
Had a problem at right back, I think, last camp. In the 2 games, Dexter unfortunately got injured in the first game. Couldn't play in the second, and because Latti Bidier had played so well in midfield, I didn't want to move him into the right back position. Greg Lee filled in, did a very good job. I've kept in touch with Dexter. He's fit, he's training. Maybe not had the minutes that he needs, but he's fit to come on camp. But I wanted a right back, and on the recommendation of Merron, then I had a look at Tavon Gray, New York FC, and I like this boy. Strong, good defender, gets forward. Saw him score a goal in a local derby when they beat New York Red Bulls, and he's been in the squad before and done very well. No hesitation in bringing him, so I look forward to working with him. John Bell, that leaves a space at left back because Amari Bell is injured, so that will push Lee Greg Lee to the left-back position. I needed cover there. And John is experienced. He's been in the squad before. Was in the Copa team and squad. And so I've liked him. I followed him at Seattle. So he comes in. An interesting one, even before I came in, we've chased this player to play for Jamaica, Mason Holgate. And I think through the intervention of the president, especially, trying to push through players double heritage wanting passports, I think we finally very, very, very close to getting a passport for Mason Holgate. I think he just needs clearance from FIFA. So I'm including him in the squad. He might not qualify for the first game, but we think by the second game he will definitely be available. So I decide to bring him in, integrate him quickly, and hope the documentation comes through so we can have him in both games. We'll move into midfield. I've always looked for a number 10, a creative player, a little bit out of the box, a little bit somebody who can win games, change games. And I asked Merron, and he recommended Tyreek McGee from Colorado Switchbacks. So I had a little look at him, and I liked him. This boy has ability, skill, can change a game. And I said, yeah, we'll give him a chance. We'll give him an opportunity. And I think that's what I aim to do. I'm learning so much about everything in Jamaica. And the squad is important. So I'm learning a lot about different players. And Tyreek is somebody who I can't wait to work with and to see in training and hopefully get some minutes and hopefully impact in the game. So he comes in that midfield area. And because of Jamal going out and Shamar, again, working closely with Merron, who knows all the players, every player going in whatever country. He's an excellent recruiter. Talked about the number 9, and he talked about Romario Williams, or Pavi as he likes to be called, playing for Indy 11. And I haven't seen much of this boy. I look forward to seeing him in training. But from what I've heard, he's been in the squad before. He's got experience. The players know him. Good addition to the squad. And he will play minutes because in that area we are pretty short. So that roughly talks about the squad. What did I learn from the last camp? The team have...
So here's some of my comments, people. If you're here, hit the like button, please. Some of you may not like it actually, so I'm not gonna force you to hit it. It's your prerogative. So bringing in McGee, I'm fine with McGee. I've watched McGee up close and personal. I haven't had to watch him over the last couple of years, but I like McGee as a player. I have no problem with McGee. But the coach did say, here's my problem with the coach. He keeps saying he see a little of the player, or Merron Gordon. So here's a question. When we bring in people like Reed, and I've said this before, so Welch from Lane Orient was the best player for the under-20. Was he ever considered, or is he just not in consideration? But Reed is. Delano Splat, who we know, who's playing good in the under-21s. A Brandon Cover, who we know, who they all have Jamaican heritage, or they're heritage players, you call them. Have we ever thought about giving them some experiences like we give to Reed? Merron Gordon recommended Trayvon Gray, Tyreek McGee, Romario Williams. Who did you see that you like, independent coach of Merron Gordon? Or do you have to depend on Merron Gordon for everything? I am not saying an assistant coach shouldn't have input and perspective and challenge what the coach does. That's why you have an assistant. What they have a brain too. But I haven't heard you said anything of your own independent analysis and assessment, knowing any of these players. You don't even know Romario Williams. You just bring him in because Merron Gordon says okay. Coach, let me tell you something. See, when you're in a company, people, when you get a new job, first of all, before they go to the job, you do your research as much as possible to know as much about the company as possible, about the product for the company, its marketing, what it does in terms of people, process, the public perception, right? When you're in the company, you have what we call, some people may say the first 100 days. For some people, it's the first 60 days, first 30 days. You have some fundamental things you have to get done, which you know you're going to set you up for success going forward. If you go in a football team, you should have known before you took the job who the players are, or potential players are. Jamaica's unique, right? You go to England, it's going to be people born in England. There's very few people born outside of England going to be the national team. So Jamaica's a little bit unique, and get that, right? But you came in and you got the 50 people who are supposed to be there. There's probably much more than 50. They're probably 200 potential Jamaica. You should have gone through that list in detail and spent all your damn waking hours, which you're getting paid for, going through and watching tapes of them or attending their games if they're good enough. You could work with Merron Gordon. You could work with the JFF. You could work with people in England to figure out how that hierarchy, that structure, that chronological sequence you want to go assess those players and be able to contribute to the conversation. Not just taking what your assistant coach has. That's not how life works in the real world. It's not a retirement job. If you're a retirement job, go in the beach in Barcelona someplace. This is not a retirement job. And those of you like A.M. Henry who's saying, Cranky, you're disrespectful. I don't know what I'm disrespect. I'm calling out what I see. If we don't like it, hey, I can't help you. I'm calling out what I see. He doesn't know the players. When he was asked about Dujon Richards, Whisper as he's affectionately known, he had no idea. At least Hogrimson knew some of these players. I'm going to ask the question again, people, for the 100th time. What does the coach do when he's not in Jamaica? And you traditional press, you're annoying me, seriously. You got to ask the tough questions because we're trying to help the country get to the right place. I want people to be doing their jobs. We don't want people scathing on us. He has all this experience, 20, Middlesbrough, Man U twice, England. Why aren't you in Jamaica providing contribution to the island and its football? You talk about the players need development. You come talk to, here's the worst thing, people. You see, when you're engaging people who are informed about something, you have to be very careful what you say, especially when you're a stranger in that environment, because you lose immediate credibility. Okay? He has lost immediate credibility. When you tell me about how great Cavaliers was and how under 14 win XYZ, you don't know the region, you don't know the people, you don't know what you're assessing. We have been following this like it's food, like we drink and eat it 24/7. You can't put no wool over our eyes. We know what we're seeing. We know what goods look like. We know who our competition is supposed to be. We know what we need to achieve to get to the right place. The competition is no longer the Caribbean. Don't tell me about no Cavaliers. Don't tell me about how good this player played in Cavaliers. Did you watch him in the under-20, coach? Did you watch him in the under-20 against the US, against Cuba, against Costa Rica? Did you watch him? This is not about the kid, It's about the process. If you watch him and say, you know what? It was an aberration tournament, fine. But don't give me Cavaliers and Police as an example because they're not the example. I'm not having that example. Don't tell me that every player that we talk about that you brought to the team is your coach who's going to tell you about it because you haven't done your research. Don't tell me you have a look at them. We don't want to look. We want in-depth analysis. We want stats. We want history. And those of you who don't like what I say, drink some water and go watch Monday Night Football. You have all this experience. The island need the experience. The JFF need the experience. They need your know-how. You can't do it from England. That's what you do with the talent assessment program. It don't work for me. You keep telling us how much talent is on the island, but you can't spend time, go pick some of them talent you talk about. If you keep telling me how much talent is there, do you know what you're talking about? We watch the DAPL. We watch schoolboy football. Yes, there's talent there. But have you really assessed that talent and see if that talent measure up to what it needs to do? Or what the talent need to bridge that gap to get to the right place? What have you done? And people stop telling me about saying just come coach the World Cup. Because the World Cup has windows. What does he do? He's not getting paid. He's getting paid outside those windows, people. John Wall says that the quality was not in Jamaica. That's why he had to go overseas. And they reassigned him. Let me repeat. John Wall says, and I thought John Wall was an arrogant, SOB. I thought he was. I thought he was just belittling and arrogant. I interviewed him. I saw it through him and I was like, you know what? It ain't going to work. but he had observations which were credible. He didn't see the talent. He wanted some talent. They refused to give him the talent that he wanted. So they had a fallout. They reassigned him, and they said he couldn't do 2 jobs simultaneously. He had to be the national team, could be on the 20 team. Because they wanted to reassign him because he wasn't doing the quota thing. He wasn't doing the quota thing. All right, he wasn't doing the quota thing. So that's why the situation was he wasn't doing the quota thing. He's not into quotas. He just wants to win because he has a resume. He doesn't even have a resume. And a lot of times, here's something I'll say, people, because I know some of this for a fact. A lot of times we hear about recruiting and this and that. No. And some looking man like Cataract come up with database. And some people like Devon Porter, who did not give no official title to, because he did not have certain accolades behind him name. They want the flashy name PhDs of recruiting that ain't doing a goddamn thing. They don't do nothing. They just talk. Hagrimson didn't recruit anybody. This coach hasn't recruited anybody. They get people that other people have done the legwork for. And JFF not giving the people no credit because they don't have the supposed resume and official titles, which they deem to be important and to be visible to get any acclamation and accreditation. But people like Devon out there 24/7 are going to people DM, I talk to them parents and all that. I do that for years and years and years and I get no credit. I don't know why I'm doing it because I may stop doing it a long time. I don't do it. I not care. And some people who love the country more than probably even love themselves and them situation. I'll be the man there, I do the work, and other people I get credit. Other people I get enough credit, them now get no credit. People I get credit when not deserve no credit. Even if it's a Merron Gordon, I recommend some people, you wonder, you say to yourself, but Merron Gordon knows so many people. Merron Gordon knows everybody, so. There are people, especially when it comes to English football of them, on about them, you can't tell me about them, we don't know them things already. Because we are back when a year and a half ago, and therefore we got contacted about certain things, so we don't know them things already. Can't tell me nothing. And the JFF, no want a young youth to come in, because they don't have a quota system, they don't want to overseas young kids to come in. No matter how good they are. So what we're building is an old team, people. Antonia 30-something, Loa 30-something, Blake 30-something, they can't play team at 50. We know about it. Pinnacle 30-something. Bobby, they get up there in age. They might get old people. And if you have some young youth with some significant potential to come to the ranks, we don't see none of them. Dixie may have potential. Put him on the bench for him there. Not play reserve football. Not junior league. We have some little youth who have significant potential we not pursue. And them think they're not right. And you guys in the JFM can call cranky and YouTubers them toxic and they horrible. We are called it like we see it. And if you don't like it, and you think you can cut me off, you only amplify the mic. You only amplify the mic, JFF. I tell you, JFF, you amplify the mic. And this is not no retaliation thing. Because we not stop the way we do. Because you know we do this? Because we love it, and we want to win, and we want a sustainable program in place. We don't want no one-off situation we're going to work up, and at 24 years ago we couldn't work up. We don't want that. That's why people like McClaren figure out Jamaica and spend, I'm going to work for the money I make. Go England, go sit down for them, you know what, I'm going to come tell me some nonsense about cranky, you're disrespectful. Do the work, you get paid for. You think you get paid for in 2 weeks every time, so 2 weeks, 12 weeks of the year? No, do the work you pay for. If you don't like it, go back and yeah, then and we get somebody else. Make Merron Gordon go coach a team. At least you know the player them. You don't seem to know nobody. You don't seem to know nobody. We want a sustainable program in place. We want the people with the best knowledge to help inform that program. And if you can't do that, coach, then we don't need you. Because you have to talk about World Cup. What you do? Them come for you. People, them come now. They must spend some days to recover. They must play some one day to watch and play a game. How much time you have to implement anything? You're there, Jamaica. You get paid. I thought your expertise would be leveraged on the island. Rudolph says you have to live on the island. Okay, you don't have to live on the island. But at least spend a month, don't you know? Work for a month. You can't do 2 weeks and go back to your yard. And then when I come tell him cranky about, say, cranky, you're too miserable, and cranky, disrespectful. A wrong person I talk to my youth. Me, I call it like how me see it. Me impartial. Me try to be impartial. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm bifurcating the communication he's provided, and I'm putting my analysis on it. If people don't like it, I can't help you. I can't help you. I'm calling like I see it. This program was supposed to be EPL update. EPL update. It was supposed to be talking about my Knicks. It was supposed to be talking about the a preview of some of the games coming up. And we go up on this and we can't move. No cranking on Merron's head coach, but Merron is the head coach. Just not in name. No, but here's the thing, Omar. Then don't take the job, Omar. As you guys know, I want the Spanish coach. I never had a version to McClaren now, but I thought his role would have been different. I have no idea what he's doing because him not bringing nobody, him not talking to nobody. I thought this window, he'd be asked question about, have you spoken to any other player? Have you spoken to Greenwood more recently? Is he still on board to come join us? Cataract, the only one who asked question about Ravel, which is a very insightful question. None of them asked them. The question about profile player bringing, we don't care. We want insightful question to trigger imagination, to trigger things that we're concerned about, to show that it's going to help the program progress and move forward. That's all we want. We're not asking for much. We want to earn your paycheck, coach. And I'm sorry, so I can't ask questions at conference because no one probably would invite me back. Because I ask questions which I think needs to be. If men get aid, can me checking out. Why can't remote people ask questions? Come on, ask the question. Who you talk to, coach? How much people you talk to? My question would be, coach, what do you do when you're not in Jamaica? You don't live in Jamaica. What do you do when you're not in Jamaica? How you function as the coach when you're not in Jamaica? You see, you travel. Where are you traveling to? Leeds? South London? Birmingham? West Brom? Villa? Wolverhampton? You going up to Manchester? You go to Liverpool? Where you go, coach? Where you go? Which part you travel to and who you look upon? Because I have no idea what you do when you're not in Jamaica. None. And the question for JFF is, JFF, do you know what the coach when you're not in Jamaica? Because me here, so I make allowance, you know. On the first says mandatory for the coach for Jamaica. And me here, so things change. Did things change or did he change things? Huh? Did he change or did he change things? I don't know. BM said it was the same issue with Algrim. So Merron Gordon was the one who recommended CFAS. Merron seems to be doing more research than their coach. But here's the thing, people. It's when you join a company and you want to do excellent at your job, you do what they call invest in yourself. And I tell my staff that all the time. And in the corporate world, you focus on being the most technical person ever. Yes, other attributes are good. Personality, communication skills, they all, at some point, as you go up the ladder, communication become more imperative. But know your job. Know your job. So let's say he knows his job. For him, the most important thing is the quality of the players he has to work with. Because he's been coaching for 40 plus years. So it's not about technical anymore. Somebody asked him in a previous question, is a modern day coach, what that means. You guys remember that answer? Remember like bullshit, you know? You remember that answer? You're a modern day coach. What did that says? What was his answer? You can tell me the answer was. Right? I'm telling you people, you guys think that we are harsh in this region. We are pussycats. We're babies. We're nothing compared to the real press out there. Or the English press, I should say, or some of the other press. Because Jamaica press, they should be put in that category. There's nothing compared to them. I'm telling you, nothing. Nothing. I've listened to this question and I squeak. I was just like, whoa. Really? Now, they're getting a little bit softer because people like Guardiola and others are pushing back on them. But look at Southgate's situation, actually. Now, Southgate was brilliant in answering questions. Simply brilliant. And he could go back 10 years later, and even though he lied too bad. By the way, people, Arteta lies, Southgate lies, coaches lie. Especially when it comes to players. They lie. But if you lie and you get caught out, just say, you know what, I lied. Then I can't really trust you. Right? I can't trust you. I wouldn't say so, Dre, but I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does. Seriously. I don't know what he does. I think, look, the only media person, I'm going to say it again, that to me asks very insightful question, and he's not even really a media person, is Cataract. Cataract will ask a question that needs to be asked. And you notice the coach will always say they're a good question, even though he won't say if there's a bad question. He said they're a good question. And you shouldn't say that, right? It makes sense. The question is good. Then when you say it's a good question, give you time to think, actually. So maybe it's time to think. But I thought a quick question, especially about Ravel and the level Ravel was playing at, was an excellent question. Now, he said he brought Heck to the previous window, even though he didn't have a club. But he didn't bring John Russell because he wasn't playing, he doesn't have a club. That confuses me. I'm easily confused. I'm not that smart, but that confuses me. He loved Reed, so he brought him in for experience. He watched him play the night. He loved him, but he didn't bring him back because he has enough 6 and 8. Even though he had no more 8s, he brought in a 10. But what you had before? That's my confusion. You know, that's my confusion, people. You can't have these conflicting things that you're saying, which confusing me. I'm easily confused, but stop. Here's another thing he said, people. The potential targets, this is what he said initially. The potential targets he knows, and he knows them and their agents, and plan to call, as he said in his previous press conference, which one, if any, has he been pursuing? As him know the 50% we give him, him know them agents, he know them. I hear him come back. When the press asks him, press, listen to the man in the previous conference, Jamaica traditional press, and do follow-up questions in the next press conference. Because those questions were good questions about who you're pursuing. Because this is about product people. It's about people. It's about player. It's about player. It's about player. It ain't about the coach. You need quality players to qualify for the World Cup. Not that the ones you don't have quality, but you need the best players you can get them. It's a pickup team. It's an all-star team. That's what these things are. This is not Honduras who play forever together. This is not Panama. This is Jamaica. Our players play all over the world. We don't have players playing in the same place 24/7. A lot of JPL players are not in the team. Therefore, you need the best players. Has he met Greenwood since he returned to England? He said he followed Jamaica over the last 3 years. If you follow Jamaica over the last 3 years, then why it seems you don't know the players? Huh? And if you say about source player, how are you going to identify local players in Jamaica? Me confused, people. Me confused. Me out of breath. Me confused. Me not understand. Now, I know I'll get beaten, especially on the JFF, saying, you see it, cranky, negative. That's why we don't like Nukuba. So if not come on the channel, don't come nowhere. Stay away there. Don't come on the channel, them. Stay on them. And I was going to tell us that we only have the CM 200 and 300 people that watch the channel. That's okay. So long as one person is interested, I'm good. If one person interested in watching the show, me good JFF. Me good. We're not worried about it now. By the way, I didn't beat the JFF today now, but I'm asking the question, JFF. What does Coach McClaren does when he's not in Jamaica? That question is out there. Please answer the question. What does he do? What does he do when he's not in Jamaica? How does he earn his paycheck? I would love to get an answer to that. People, please hit the like button. I know some of you, I don't know what the story is, but please hit the like button, people. Now, I think I put the thumbnail together because I watched the last press conference and was perturbed, like really perturbed. I was perturbed at the coach. I was perturbed at the traditional media, not the side media, calling it a YouTuber, I know. And it's not that I have a problem with the players calling them, even though I don't think some of them are good enough, frankly, I'll be honest. I like McGee, so I can't knock McGee. I've seen the players who come up to play left and right back. They're so. Right? Holgate, I can live with Holgate. I think he's rash, just like I think Lowe can be rash also. I think he's rash, but it is what it is. Right? Holgate is a good player. Hopefully he calms down when he come and play. But he'll add value to the team. But Hoggerson didn't recruit anybody, and this coach hasn't recruited anybody. That's not good. The recruiting can't be done by people who are not getting any credit. Let me say that again, people. It's on JFF not recruit nobody either. So when the president bring up name, he not recruit nobody. JFF not recruit nobody. The coach them not recruit nobody. At least the people who play at England. That's not debatable. They don't recruit nobody. Other people in the background do it and they not give them no credit. Them take out when they beat them chest when they play, them come in like them do something. Them not do nothing. Them not recruit nobody. Other man them in the background don't get no credit. Like Devon Porter at them recruit people. The list them I come up with, Simon and Cataract them come up with them list. They not recruit nobody, people. Them type of them have agent thing. They not recruit nobody. I tell you the truth. Not recruit nobody. Okay, what they want to say. And Agrips not recruit nobody, and this coach haven't recruited anybody yet. Coach, they say they know the player them agent them. Go find them. You have Cameron Archer, you have Kai Walker Peters, you have enough players over there. Quality players. If they want to wait for England, put them prerogative, we move on to the next one. And we say if you change your mind, come tell me. But we don't want you see that England by your coach, I watch TV. We don't want that. Merron not recruit nobody. Merron mentioned recycle player. You know what? I mean, I said that. I take that back, people. I'm wrong for saying that. He's mentioning players who we have seen before and we believe that we should have upgrade for. All right? And not going to beat me both lower, say Cranky, you're partial lower. I like Damien Lowe as a player. It ain't because I met Damien. I also met Bernard. I also met Jamal Lowe. I also met all those players who were there in Dallas. I just tried. I like who I like, right? I think Damien get too much yellow cards. Not debatable. And too much red too. He might have 7 red, but 3 of the red were double yellow. But I like what he brings to the team. Should he play for Bernard? I don't know. To me, they're sort of interchangeable. I know some people hate that, disagree with that, and then beat me feet. And maybe I deserve the beating. I love Blake. I think Blake is Jamaica's best player. Period. I think Andre Blake is Jamaica's best player, has been Jamaica's best player for the last 10 years. Not even close. Because one thing, Blake really, if ever, has a bad game. I think Blake is one of the most underappreciated players who play for Jamaica. Like Blake now bad game, people. You know why we get talked about? I don't know love beat local players sometimes. And we also are a little bit partial to overseas players. We don't beat them as much. We beat some of them, but we don't beat them as much as we beat local players. Because familiarity breeds contempt. But Blake has been the most consistent Jamaica player ever. He has about 70-something caps. If he has 3 bad games in that 70-something caps, he might have enough. He might have enough people, may I tell you. If he has had, he should get much more recognition as it relates to Jamaica football. Because when he retires, even though Jamal Waite is a very good goalkeeper, by the way, don't get me wrong. And Jamal Waite, even though he's not Blake, is a very good goalkeeper and will continue the legacy. But Blake's appreciation will be visited when he retires. Because I know if we get beaten now. Hey, if we get Canada now, when we go Nation League semi-final now. And if we get beat Honduras the last time. Now, you may say, let's keep us supposed to stop the shot. No, so no one-on-one thing. Now, when the man gets you up on goal so much time and can't score because the man look like him bigger than the goal. Bigger than the goal. Me surprised, Blake. I'm sorry, say you never go overseas go play football. I mean, no, say upon your feet, them are the best thing. But we say, could I improve on it? I can come a cranky school. We can teach you with 2 foot Jason Guna, left and right foot, 2-footed. Joke me a mate still. But no, I think Blake is an exceptional football player. I remember sending Blake's highlights once to a friend of mine in England. The man said, oh, this man makes save ridiculous. I think he could have played at a higher level. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. And if Turner can go play at Arsenal and go play at Nottingham Forest, him doing the Crystal Palace now, Blake better him. And time him when go instead of Blake, that's partiality. A US thing that. So to me, he should get more kudos. And here, Lowe are the stalwart in the team. As I said before, between Lowe and Bernard, I don't see a difference, actually. I think they're similar. Now, if we bring in a center back who's better, then you know what? They get in the team. That's how life is. Right? Good evening. This is Cranky.
Yes,
Very cranky this evening. Very cranky this evening.
Gary.
Yeah, Gary, what you say?
Well, I'm going to tell you something, man. Everything what you say, I saw you go. So anybody want to vex up with you, they're not real. They don't know about football. They're not real. Because when me I say Cranky, in 2 press conference, I the same argument, I the same thing he tell you.
Yeah.
You know why I look on Cranky? It look like the man don't want no youngster from England to come to Jamaica. It come like he want to stay for England. Me I tell you. And if him say him no, I'm studying for Jamaica, and a young quality there. You know, try carrying one young quality when Boyz drop out, you look for a young quality from England, we have the paper work, and carry me in and make him get the opportunity. You see me I say?
Yeah.
And everything our Merron Gordon tell him. So if Merron Gordon them say 10 pounds out of the Premier League, and them tell him I carry.
No,
See?
Yeah.
All right. Right now, between me and you, Andre Gray, all, but in my fire, and I saw the league, in my fire, in my score goal, in a player. So, I don't prefer carrying back more Romario, just with out in here.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion on that, actually, because I don't know how I haven't seen Andre Gray for a while. When I last saw Andre Gray, to me, he had slowed up significantly. And I don't know what Romari is doing. So I don't make this assessment that I don't have information on, but I know some of the players. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, I don't know.
Right.
I said if you follow player them,
Right.
because me follow the Saudi league for me to see how me player them are going. And
Okay.
him go on good down there. Him a play better than even
Great.
Damari.
Yeah.
Yeah, him a play better than Damari.
Is he in the same league as Damari?
Yeah, man.
Okay. I've watched the Saudi leagues. I don't know. I'm an elitist football watcher, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I try to follow.
Someone says not in the Saudi league. I know didn't he come back didn't he go back to England? I thought he went back to England. Somebody says not in the Saudi league.
Huh?
Andre Rob Smith is saying Andre Gray's not in the Saudi league.
Oh, he left. Okay.
Okay.
But Mr. said
he's now with Plymouth. He's now with Plymouth. You're right about it. He's now with Plymouth. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. What me I say? The coach never yet say in take that one day. Everything as somebody have to tell him.
Yeah.
So if you get 50, right? You should go through the 50 and watch the 50 and play and see which one of them shine.
Yep.
That is my problem. Look who are shine.
Yeah.
You know? Well, the youth Kevin Gray, I agree saying he can come back in young. So maybe the style of football where him play, this a coach play, maybe suit him. You understand what I mean?
Right.
So in young. So even the if you don't carry Hector, when they carry come and put him in the copa there.
You're talking about West Harding?
Yes. Him should get back a calling.
Yeah, West seemed to be in and out of favor. West seems to be a strange case, actually. West comes periodically. He's not a consistent person to get called. Maybe they're not impressed with West. Look, I can understand some coaches like certain players. This coach likes every player that he's referred to. So I don't know.
No, you know, like every player, he just don't know nobody. He just use them. He's a try team tactics. So much, right? He don't know nobody. Remember, it's a Gary tell you. He don't know nobody, brother. See, but I want everybody to next press conference. They ask him, who do you gonna take in? Which player you see play that you like? Different from Merron Gordon, have to tell you.
Yeah, here's my question, people, that I've been thinking about, which is my question to the coach is, a coach, given that you got a list of 50 players and the ones you have seen already, what's the universe of players you think you're going to be available to look at? And what's your timeline to be familiarized with these players? Do you have a timeline in place? How are you thinking about it? How are you going about looking at these players? Are you traveling to see them play? Are you watching them on YouTube for highlights? Are you watching them in person? Are you watching them and the games they play? How is that working? How is that working?
And Cranky, again, when we want to find out, you know, in Jamaica, yes, Cranky, you want to find out, you know, in Jamaica, you don't find, and you see that find, you should even carry 2 players where you over there and watch. You understand me? Yeah. So you know that Jamaica, Merron Gordon control Jamaica then. You don't live in Jamaica, so Merron Gordon control Jamaica. You should see the player them up there and say, all right, Merron, we have 2 when we watch, play and everything, so me go carry them 2 there because they look real good to fit the position what we need. And then no, we don't understand. So ain't over there work. But they like over there now the one thing. I don't hear something about Miss Greenwood. You should fight to get him.
Yeah, we don't, you know, we're egotistical people. We don't want to hear that we're a second choice, even though we may be, right? That's fine if we are, but at least tell us that you made an attempt and the player said no. I don't want you to come tell me that they want to play for England and that's right. That's not what I want to hear. What I'm hearing you say, because you're the national coach, which is we're going to pursue all these players. If we go talk to them and decided we're going to wait for England, that's fine. We're going to move on to the next one. It's a process.
Exactly. But listen, I tell you already, this man not can no youngster because he want him to play for England. I'm telling you. I remember, say Gary tell you, this coach, this coach, he might get fired before we got a World Cup.
No, they can't afford to do that.
You see something?
You got a 2-year contract. They can't afford to fire no coach. This is not. We're not going to the Shaper days. Don't go back to the Shaper days.
I say, listen, he might lose because I pay every week at the same thing. So I want to make sure that Ketara going to ask him what he might do, which player he might carry in, which player him say player that he want to carry.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Come on, man. It's shame Rudolph because I think Rudolph speed them when I look for different. But he must shame them. Remember me tell you, Rudolph shame them. He got this same thing with Rudolph would have want, but Rudolph he said the man would have go out. So he must feel Rudolph them so the JF them might get look like a fool now.
Yeah.
Exactly. He said if he's a coach, right, not from England, our South American, we want to build their reputation, they might go feel every dog that makes out there. Just like agree to get mad because he never get certain player. He want them, but he can't get them because he can't speak to them the right way, right?
Yes.
And him speak with some player, but then let him down and him vex and come back. He will still speak. But if we get a coach where, as what you was say, Argentina coach, them not then type of coach don't want to feel if that them go for them everybody, they have to get them or they get vex and let it.
Yeah, but every coach wants to succeed, I would think, right? But he's conflicted. I keep telling these people that conflicts are real in life and conflicts are challenging. And you have to find ways to either avoid conflicts or manage conflicts. And he's conflicted.
Yeah, he can tell you. I tell you what, he love England and he want a youngster to come up and make England have a chance with them. That is his.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's what it is, to be honest. But when I hear him talk about England and the right, I'm just like,
and they have the right to play. Yeah, man, I write this me Gil. Me done with him for write this up. I don't see him. I done with him for write this up. But I like this style where I try to get the guy them play. But me done with him for this up. Me said to myself, say no youngster from England now get to come and just say that. He now go try to proceed none.
Yeah, we'll see, Gary. We'll see. I appreciate the call though.
You got 50 players out there and you on the same tree you look on and he said shot, hold it. He said shot. If Bobby Reed out, we don't have no good player. If Leon Bailey out, we don't have no good player. And then when you have to go back to the same look all one them. And you got 50 players out there who are shine. That look foolish.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, Gary.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
me not meet a coach. I have a blood pressure, no, brother. Remember me tell you, man.
All right, yeah. Well, mine I run up. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Look at sometimes I don't bother listen to Cranky. God no, I just come on and press the like button and share. I don't bother listen because I get so ignorant sometimes. I feel like
don't get ignorant. We have to just calm and just hope things work out for the best.
We can't stand every time he say Merron Gordon and we have talent. Where the talent there? We got talent, but they don't reach the level yet. They have to oversee, they have to left on the island and oversee, then you pick them. Yeah,
my view on that, Gary, is that there are a couple of things, which is I think if you hire a coach and the primary objective is to get to the World Cup, there's a period of time where, to me, there's nothing being done, right? How do I then leverage your expertise to help me and my football program progress? I'm paying you. It's not free. So can I leverage you to help contribute to the football? I'm not hearing that. Is that being done? I don't know. But if he lives in England and as soon as the players leave, he's gone, then question, what is he doing between windows? Now, we have 3 consecutive windows. I think we have, September, October, November. But there's a long lull period between November and then the next window after that. What is he going to be doing in that process, in that timeline? And what is he doing even between the windows which are closed? What is he doing?
I hope God, when the window closed and you open back, in Gentle I get 3 nice, good players in the team. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're going to get it from him. We may get it. Because people like Devon, they don't stop beat the pavement. I try to get players return and players will say, oh, okay, I'm pontificating. And then Devon and other people will put on the pressure and put on the pressure and put on the pressure. And then eventually they may say, you know what? All right, the England thing now work for me. Or some of the young kids may say, you know what? I don't want to play for England. Here to rest is here. I don't want to play for England. I want to play for the country of my mom's or my dad. Well, not only a mom's birth, because no father now doing the job right. Most I don't know. Some I don't know, but most I don't know. That's how I don't know.
Most of them, brother.
So at the end of the day, the kid will say, you know what? My mom is from Jamaica. I don't want to wait for England. I'm going to play for Jamaica. This coach is saying that's not how it works. And I'm saying that's not 100% the case.
I tell you already, say him wanting to play for England. All right, I done tell you already.
All right, Gary. Appreciate the call, sir. Bless up, man. Have a good evening. Yeah, man. All right, people. Almost that time. And I'll say this, which is I had planned to cover a wide range of topics this evening. But it seemed like we got stuck. Well, we did do the heritage thing, right? We didn't do the diaspora thing, you know. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll carry over to tomorrow, people. The whole thing about diasporans thinking, feeling like they're non-Jamaicans. We ever talk about that, people? We ever talk about that? That's not a 2-minute conversation. The diaspora feeling like they're non-Jamaicans. We have to have that conversation, people. That has to happen. No, that's the thing. That's the thing where I say, sir, think all them can't play for England. I think they have too much of them. All them can't play for England. Look, here's my view. I think the JFF is a little bit narrow-sided, right? Now, I like what the JFF is doing from the perspective of they're trying to improve the football in Jamaica. They're trying to improve the JPL. They will now go down to the more grassroots level. They're going to leverage people expertise to help them. But it's multifaceted, the approach should be. It's not just about, and the Jamaica program is going to take a long time, right? We should be engaging people who have Jamaican affiliation and who can be citizens across the globe, who have certain skill sets that we desire and require to help with the football program. And this will include kids from the States and Canada, from Holland, because, we start branch out as a people, and a lot of them from the UK. And a lot of them have potential. And you have to cultivate that potential to make it something which is actual. And if you keep telling these kids that them can't come because you have quota, and when you get to a certain level, right, they will not want to play for us. So that's Calvin Phillips, that's Raheem Sterling. Fortunately, Antonio ended up being here with us, right? Even though I heard one time his coach at West Ham didn't want him to come for different reasons, but part of it was to say he has a chance for England. So at the end of the day, you can't just be myopic in your thought process and your viewing things. You gotta be much more broad-based about how you think about it. You gotta be much more strategic, which is not something I see being affected in Jamaica by these people who run the football. Right? And I know some people are going to think about this as a slight on McClaren and Cranky go off and do all this. I'm just calling out what I see. I'm not happy with certain things. I'm not happy with this communication. I'm not happy with traditional media in terms of how they ask questions and trying to get insight. We're all doing this for a while now. We all love the country. We all love the football. We all want to do well. Doesn't mean we have a right to all these players that may be born outside of Jamaica to play for Jamaica. But at least we want an effort to be made to bring them to the national team if they're good enough. And that doesn't mean that, and also we want the coach to go look at the local players. I'm sure there's a baby gardener down in Jamaica someplace that we haven't thought about. That somebody with an insightful eye can see where local coaches can't even see that, right? I'm sure there's a baby garden in Jamaica someplace that we can go find a gem the coach can take and cultivate and bring him to the team. Now he's bringing in Reed, but did he go see Reed or was Reed recommended to him? Like every other player seemed to be. I don't think Baby Gardner was. I think Simone is fine Gardner. I think Simone is fine Pepe. Where are you going around the country, coach, looking at players? You keep telling us about the players and the country. You don't know nothing. You can't know nobody overseas. I watch things on TV. I watch some communication you have over some Skype or Zoom with JFF. You're not that Jamaica if you know nothing. You have to be on the ground to go assess, review, discuss with people. That's not good. And even with that England, we don't know if you're watching a player in England. So those of you who want to be cranky and say cranky, negative, and see that's all, you can say what you want to say. When we see these things, we're gonna bring them up. We're gonna bring them up. We're gonna bring them out. We're gonna have discussion about them. And it may not effectuate any change. It may not bring about any change, but at least it makes us want to have it. We want to have the conversation because we want what's best for the country. We want the country to do well. And we don't want you about no 98 no more. Yes, it's history. It's as this place in history, we can stay in our history and stay there. We want to talk about where go forward, we don't go back. As Kamala Harris said, we want where go forward. It's today and tomorrow. We're tired to go back. So of a generation never got World Cup yet. Whole generation at all. World Cup was 26 years ago. In fact, we make World Cup 27 years ago, because 97 we make World Cup. We don't talk about that. There's a whole bunch of people who under 27 who never see we got on a World Cup. What not talk about? We want to put in place sustainable processes and what we do to make sure this World Cup thing is a every 4-year thing. It's a recurring thing, not no one-off thing. Right? We don't want a one-off thing. And right now, the way I coach a top, him I come for 2 years and him go in yard, go retire. Him retire already look like to me. Like him I don't know work. And traditional media, I found the time to get beaten. Let me say it before I go. I'm gonna learn for doing the job. If you can't do the job, leave the job. Leave the job. I don't know what I do. 12 on the traditional media. And if you watch YouTube, forget questions, because no question them awful. Enough of them awful. They don't make no sense. When I ask question, I throw away question. And I help nobody. When you go get question, when you sit down and think about what the people want to know, and no matter what the repercussions are, ask the question. People need to know. Ask the right question. This is about player. This is not about money anymore, people. JFF have some money. You're Dennis Chung say them soon come out, them soon clear up enough of them debt. Them still about what's done in debt. But they're no longer them soon out of negative capital. Which means, you know what? That means they don't have negative in them balance sheet in terms of how much contribution them have, how much money them have. Them soon negative. They will have some debt left. Yeah, I paid on the debt. Some money I run. And the money are the issue anymore. Money I run, players now complain no more. Things look organized, press conference even organized. Even though I see man with naked shirt the other day for the under 14, but anyway, it's a different story. Can't go back to history, I go forward. What we want now is the product on the field. I hope Maggie does brilliantly, by the way, people. I hope Maggie gets a minute. I hope he does well. All right? I hope so. All right? Can I say we have a lot of players in England? I know we have a lot of players. We're not nobody to recruit them. We don't have a recruiting process, Dre DJ. We don't have a recruiting process. Coach, you do recruiting. Because coach are influential. And I said, laugh a lot. 28 accounts are at R&R. This is not. It's more than 28 R&R. 28, it was just like personal accounts. Some of the other company accounts, I think about 30-something accounts in total. Probably even more than that. Cranky, I was with you and they quoted Harris. Hey, Drew Ross, I hope you don't vote for Trump in a Drew Ross. Because me and I engage again, Drew Ross. If you have a vote to Trump, you might as well just not vote. And you should always exercise the vote, people. Yeah, I don't know what the job description is, Mr. Yu. We're going to rework every runway every coach. So you're a P&O in general. Let me ask you this, because people like you always come with a negative thing. Who run Hagrimson? The finance with Hagrimson. Who runway Donaldson? Finance with Hagrimson. We are talking about runway. Nobody fan not running nobody. Fan not running nobody. Yeah, Ernest, but him still have him still got go to the door. No, don't vote for Trump, Juras. There's no logical reason to vote for Trump. He's a despicable human being. Despicable. You can't do that, Juras. Might as well not vote Juras. No vote. Don't vote for Trump. I don't know why some black people like Trump now. It's like we glutton for punishment. But anyway, this is not a political evening to talk about these things. By the way, people, let me know if you haven't watched my program last week Friday, go watch it. The one on because I know some of you just want to talk sports, on the cable nets in life. We expand the horizon. Go watch the statutory declaration and tell me if you have any perspective on this. Because some are not labor right and some are not PMP. It wasn't meant to be any of those. It was just meant to be a discussion about the Prime Minister's statutory declaration and just lay out the facts for what they are. Even though some people tell me can't go Fleming, Morgan Stanley, or Stanks anymore. The turn off firing. Or somebody text me and say, yeah, you can't talk with them, but we can't talk about it. Here's another thing before we go. In my last point, people. It is unconscionable that people in Jamaica are in a democratic society and there's some topics they can't broach. Right? That's unconscionable. I can tell you, even in the US, for example, where we had in the 80s and 90s, the mob and what the mob did with gotcha those people, I didn't hear people here nervous to talk about the mob. So why is it that people in Jamaica can't talk about certain subject? They're off limits. You can't talk about the Prime Minister. You can't talk about the prodigal son who will release from jail. You can't talk about anything. It is like, oh my God, you got to be very careful. Why is that? Why is that okay? Why do we find that to be okay? You're a democratic society. You have freedom of speech. That means there's no freedom of speech. The Prime Minister say, you know, the YouTuber them there, the social media people them there. Now, if you're saying things which are not so, that's a problem. You should try to be as factual as possible. But why is it okay that certain subjects are taboo when they're in the public domain? I don't understand that. And why is it that people are afraid to say that means the society is all, you know what, up? That's not a good thing. That can't be good. I find that unconscionable, seriously. Because it's lawless, but it's a democratic society. Even lawless doesn't mean I can't speak, you know. It could mean that people have gang issues or resources issues. I don't understand people. It's my last topic for the evening, which is I don't get that. I don't understand why we say we are a civilized democratic society, and when certain subject come up, which we should be able to express our perspective on, we can't because we supposedly may not survive. Therefore, we can't talk. Then then why exist for people? What we exist for? No, people talk about the mob, Juras. That's not true. When Castellano was getting knocked down in Manhattan, people talk about the mob. Newspaper talk about the mob. Individual write article about the mob. I don't agree with that, Juras. When got to the people knocked down Castellano or Manhattan, they talk about it. They talk about all the war that was going on. When Jamaica Posse was doing them thing in New York back in the 80s and early 90s and drug hot, people talk about it. Ain't nobody walking around like, you know, we can't say anything because that should not be okay, people. It should not be okay. I'm sorry, it should not be okay. Yeah, but people shouldn't be threatened because they talk about a certain subject. And it's not even like they're being disrespectful. It's just you can't even talk about it. Hey, before the game. That means I'm getting C now. Maybe that's why I'm acting the way I am before the game. I'm getting C now because Julian is C now. And Julian is Brock. And so me Brock too. So yeah, maybe I see him both. Julian is Brock. If Julian gets sued and he's smart enough, he put all the money offshore. So you can't get the money, just like the other guy who was spreading conspiracy theory. I know it's Jamaica big deal, but it's not okay, big deal. It's not okay. Jamaica needs to change. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I'm glad that I see some of the attorney generals in New York and other places with Jamaican affiliation who are then saying it's not okay for all these guns for leaving the U.S. going to Jamaica. It's not okay. That needs to change. First thing we want pressure Kamala about. The Caribbean have too much guns to go there. Appear U.S. going to go Caribbean. They might talk about how guns that flow across the border from Mexico to America. Lie them tell. The guns go the other way. America going to kill off Mexico, kill off Jamaica, kill off Haiti, kill off. And look on Trinidad. Trinidad said, Jamaica, we can't leave you by yourself now. We have come catch you. Boy, I tell you. Trinidad are run on Jamaica in terms of people killed per capita through violence, murders through crazy. Yeah, Alex Jones was the one, Brian Burke. Thank you. Crazy people. But anyway, I don't want to digress this conversation into a political thing tonight. But I don't think it's okay for us Jamaicans can't talk about certain subjects are taboo because of the implication of talking about them. That means we're not a free society, people. We are partially free. In fact, I don't know how free we are because we can't go to the beach in Jamaica no more. And oh, by the way, people, is it true that Jamaica has oil? Let me know, people. Is it true that Jamaica has oil? We have to know. If you know this. You guys let me know. Is it true that Jamaica has oil? Do you guys know this? Is this a fact? I just cranky. I have to do some research and do a program on this. Huh? Is it true that me have to know? Because if I don't know more than me now, I'm just learning some of these things. Is it true Jamaica have oil, people? Coconut oil. Well, coconut oil is good enough. Let me tell you something, people. Because I've been doing some research. That's a rhetorical question, you know. Tripoli, I love that Tripoli. Love that Tripoli. Love that Tripoli. I love that Tripoli. I love that comment, Tripoli. Okay. So it's my understanding that there's more than meet the eye on this. So within the next month, I'm gonna do a program on that. And I need to have much more people than watch my the one on the Prime Minister. I'm gonna do more on the Prime Minister. We're not on the Prime Minister, I'm gonna do some more things. I don't want to get myself in trouble because I'm afraid, like other people, I'm afraid I'm a shadow. Can't touch certain subject, as I'm saying. Let me look off your head. But anyway, let me just say this. The beach issue is a good one. I want to touch a beach issue too. When we go to Jamaica, me go see, me go to Jamaica, me tell some people, I'm ball now, but me hear you still what them call red. I live at sea every day. I live at Lucy, Watson Taylor Park. In fact, some place where shark all day, we out there swimming at some place. We don't know we surviving at January 12, 13, 14, 11. Me learn to swim, the people throw me in the water and there was no bottom to the thing. Me drink so much seawater, surprise me not bloated. I saw me learn to swim. When we go beach all the time, go beach or we go sea. I used to go to the river thing, right? I never at Lucy. We go Kingston, we never go to the beach. I'm going to beach with that Kingston. And the beach never really sanitary to me. But anyway, two things. The Isle thing and the beach thing, yeah, I may have to do that. I'll probably start up me at a channel because I don't really want to mix up this with the sports channel. But I forget enough viewership on the other channel, so I'm not doing up on it. Me get discouraged quickly. But no, I think the oil thing needs to be looked into. And I think Cranky may have to do some look into it. The beach thing. I know there was some group in Jamaica focused on the beach thing. We don't know why we can't go to one beach. That don't make no sense to me, people. Right? That don't make no sense. We can't have beach, we can't go. That have to change. Some things that Jamaica have to change, star. Have to change. So anyway, it's gonna be my duty to research some of these things and maybe have some program in it. Maybe I'll just get the sports thing. I don't know, so no miser with no likes, no miser with no viewing. And we just do a little program. How much views me get the other day, people? Because I chase views now. We don't buy freeness. Jason Guna. We don't buy freeness, Jason Guna. We don't buy freeness. We don't pay for freeness. Them said no oil in Jamaica. All that done thief out and sell out. Well, no. There's a difference, big deal between there may be oil and the rights were sold versus that there's no oil. There's a difference. All right? There's a difference. So if you say thief out and sell out, that means there's something to be sold out. Now, I did watch part of the video that was told, and I did do some of the investigation. There is more to this than meet the eye, actually. So either it's a scam thing or a real thing. I did look up the company on the website. We did watch the video. And it's interesting who the investors are in the company which are associated with this whole thing. The 26 bank account are with it's 28 bank accounts, by the way, but a couple were parents with this. So call it 24. So 4 were with joint accounts with parents, even though we're not saying, hey, people. Hey, those of you who are married in the chat, are there people in the chat who are married who don't have any, not even one joint account with their wife? Me want to know. Is there anybody in the chat who's married and say you have 10 account, say 5 a business account and 3 person, you have not even one joint account to pay joint expenses with your wife? I find that strange, people. Now, it's not no conspiracy thing, but I find that strange. These are factual things. So maybe they are accounts. No, they're not none because they have to get it up. Yeah, if you're married, people, at some point. Now I know some people have prenups and all that, and you should. Let me say something. If you have some money and you're a more seasoned person and you get married, sign a prenup. Sign a prenup. Sign a prenup. Sign a prenup. Not fool. That love thing can disappear in a heartbeat. Sign a prenup. And make sure the prenup is a good liar too, because I'm lying on the matter. Hey, you want to take your advice. But no, if you're married people, hey, if any ladies in the chat, if you're married to a man and one of your couldn't join, left him. You know what I mean? You know, good. Left him. If your partner, if you're married, say you have 3 accounts, one for me, one for you, and one to pay general expenses. That has to be the case. That be the case. Man have 20 account and no joint account. But if I have joint account, but I'm in wife. That's strange. But anyway, people, let me close the program down. So, Brian said, I have a few accounts. Some with my wife and some without. Yes, that's how it should be. If you have a one account, okay, you know, so she'll go shopping with all that money. So you have to make sure you have a account for some money. I'm not encouraging any divorce. By the way, I'm supporting divorce. People. Let me just say this. I was doing some research the other day. I do too much research, I was looking at the divorce rates across the world. America have about a 50% divorce rate, and then people when we marry is another 50% divorce rate. India divorce rate is about 1%, people. And a lot of these are arranged marriages, My understanding is, and people can tell me research, India's divorce rate is about 1%. So when we used to have staff at India, we talk to them. By the way, they live as a commune. The older parents always living with the kids. In fact, I had one staff I want to bring to the US to even take my role. Him saying can't leave because he have to take care of parents them. I found that to be so exemplary, to be honest. So exemplary. 1% divorce rate in arranged marriage. Maybe the arranged marriage work. Dr. Ero says, stop talking for you. Dr. Ero. Dr. Ero. Gary, I call back again, Gary. Gary, make it close the program now, Gary. 2 minutes, Gary. Make it close the program. 2 minutes, yes.
Yeah, I know. I just want to clarify something. Gary, I call back again, Gary. No, I just want to clarify something.
Yeah.
Frankie.
Yeah.
If you buy pizza in front of beach land, pizza land in front of the beach.
Yeah.
And the guys them are always come build stall right in front of your place. You're not running in front of it with a place with the open eyes and something.
The question is, do you own the beach?
No, not the beach, man.
No, you can't tell them to put them style. You can't tell them.
No.
That's a government to do. That's not for you to do. The government has to do it. That's not for you to do.
Wait, no, Cranky. Me still live by the beach, no, Cranky. Wait, no, man.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It's by the beach.
Yeah?
You see, right by the beach. Nobody now go directly.
Then you know what? Put up a wall. Put up a wall. No. If you have a thing, put up a wall then. Put up a wall.
Then I tell you, the wall you put up, the people and wall it on your wall for walk on build inside.
No, them can't. Then that's not okay. Then they should call the cops. Exactly. No, they can't do that.
Right. Me live there. Me live by the beach. No beach at Jamaica. Every beach at Jamaica can walk on Cranky. And me I tell you, when you go to Jamaica and you go back to Lucy, go on the beach and walk, go down the whole beach line and sit all right. The people over here make arguments at the beach alone. And them want to come by a place, come build stall. Right. And me I tell you, brother, me live in it. Me used to drive tourist bus. Me run tourist over 10 years before me come and find, brother. That is the problem. No beach on the don't sell, brother. Me go up on the Treasure Beach, with the Negro free.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Gary. What you're missing, Gary. You can't get access to the beach. So, Gary, if you have a stretch where everybody by that land by the beach, then there's no access to the beach. You can't walk to people land to go there.
No, go so Cranky. Just listen, Garrison, man. No, go so man.
Okay.
Every beach on the road for walk go down, brother. You walk go down there and you go down for the beach, brother. I'm here, I tell you, brother. And for my birthday August, I just said, and then Jamaica never know, right before the football match. Right? For birthday. Yeah. And I go everywhere you have a walkway to the beach, brother. The government even build up some nice place for the beach and the people can play. No. So no for nobody, Cranky. You buy your place and man will come for your place, come build stall for your place, brother.
Yeah, but when you say build stall, is it building stall on the beach or on your place?
On your place. Then they not put the stall for the beach. On your place, they might put it. Because the beach can't hold up in the middle, the water go push for the place. I mean, a beach when you're talking, Cranky. The water go push for the place.
All right, Gary. I hear you. We'll talk about it another time because I'm going to do a show on it. Maybe do some more research. Maybe do research for me.
Wait, man. Jamaica people want to finish, Frankie. Upon your place, they want to come build because the land sell and they want to come for your place, come build stall. No, go some man. I work in the 12th industry, brother. And most of them I make the whole beach free because everybody has sell on the beach, brother. And me I tell you that.
Yeah. All right, Gary. I hear you. Let me do the research. We can't talk informed. Let me do the research. Me come back and talk to you. All right?
But listen, man, I want you to go there and go to Jamaica and go up on the beach. Anyway, you used to go and say if you don't
No, I'm going to Jamaica. I'm going to resort. You know, so I don't know who.
All right.
I don't go by the beach. I go resort.
And Cranky, hey, let me tell you something. Some part of the beach, dirty and nasty people throw everything they did, brother.
No, I understand. But it's supposed to be Jamaica, the government to be cleaning up those beaches, right? The government should be doing that.
Somebody are cleaning them. Somebody are cleaning as even something put up on the beach to pick up and throw it. They have people are cleaning the beach. The people at Jamaica, they want them don't go spread more propaganda upon the country if you mash up the country, brother. I'm not tell you. It's me a beach, man. And enough of them down there. After your place, they might come.
All right, Gary.
Because Star can build a son.
All right, Gary. I hear you. All right, man. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
freeness too much, man.
All right.
Yeah, all Michael man the days with they work for freeness and no pay back no money. And that they want. The Jamaica can't run so, brother.
All right,
And
Gary.
everybody to come up for, I want everybody come up for and come pay taxes and bill. As if you pay taxes, then hate you. Any government in the power, anyone, and you have to pay taxes, then hate you. I want to come up for this man and learn and pay taxes. And that's why some of them deport, you know, because they come and broke cool and they send home them.
Yeah, no. All right, Gary. I hear you. Thanks, Gary.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
Man.
man.
Too wicked, man. You got every beach, brother. Every beach and nobody knows to be. But they want to build for your place. No, man. Nobody want to build for my place, brother.
All right, Gary. Cool. Thanks. Bless up.
Yeah.
Mrs. Some people. What's going to go to Jamaica then? Go to Jamaica, yes. I go to Jamaica now. I stay on a resort. Or I stay in an Airbnb. No, I stay at Airbnb at Kingston sometime. Or maybe hotel down by Emancipation Park. But I go to Jamaica, I stay enough North Coast place. Whether from Runaway Bay. A friend of mine used to have a villa over Ochi. Beautiful place. I love it. Go down to, all on a strip them with a Spanish hotel them. I think I might spend all of them. Ritz, all of them hotel there on the stretch. From me run from Montego Bay all the way up to Ochi. So I go to Jamaica, yes. But when I go to Jamaica, I go up on the road. I not staying at the resort during the day. Just did it at night most time. I hang out. Right? So it is Jamaica all in all. But me not go beach where like the public beach. Me not do that. Not do that. That's not part of my what I do actually. But let me say this before I go, people. I think that I understand the perspective. Where's Dr. Hero? You're doctor of what? You're a doctor of rudeness. First of all, you come on the program, you have no idea what British reject meant, but you come accused right away. It's disrespectful, right? You don't understand what the British reject. It was meant to be controversial for a reason. I can't reject myself, so I don't consider anybody a British reject. Because if I say a British reject, that means I'm rejecting myself. So you're missing the point. If you come and listen to the program from the inception of it, then your perspective may have changed, but you didn't have time to listen because what you come in the program all the time, you, TikTok, football guru, as in a common start attack right away. I'm not even landing in a program yet. And I always come later. And don't know the total of the discussion and just come attack. Because you are a doctor of misinformation, a doctor of rudeness. Right? And I hear somebody saying somebody said the other day about somebody say they don't have no common sense. Cranky no common sense. Let me say this, people. I'm gonna say it for the last time. If it common, me no want it. Let me say again. If it common, that means everybody can have it. Me no want it. Me want something what differentiate me. Me no want a common thing. No, because well, that's your thing, Dwight. But I think the government has to be involved in that. Don't they have streets? But in New York, we should keep the streets clean. But they have street sweepers, and they force you to move your car so they can sweep the street. Yeah, as citizens, we should keep place clean. But it's a government land, it's government property. They should keep it clean. They should be the primary person doing it. Right? Michael Garden. Y'all get me in that trouble, Michael. Y'all get me in that trouble. Yes, Michael, there was one in the report about that. And people, if you haven't read the report, the State of Declaration report, you should go read it. It's an easy read, actually. You don't have to read the last 10 pages, nor do you need to read, even a lot at the front. You need to read the summary part, some things in the middle, but where they have the listing of statements and witness statements, you don't have to read that. In fact, you should read it because it tells you chronological sequence of events. It's an easy read. I don't care, Dr. Ero, what they see. Don't read it. Go listen to the program, Dr. Ero. There's a reason why it's there. Right? You don't listen to the program. You just come jump with your normal rude self about what that entails. I put British reject. I am British, Dr. Hero, by birth. That means I can't reject myself. There's a reason why the thumbnail is there. Yes, it's meant to say, you know what? That's how it feels, and it's not a good feeling. But you couldn't understand that. You're too brilliant for that. No, we're not saying on style. When Mr. go Jamaican go champs, Mr. Airbnb and New Kingston, yes. Mr. Airbnb and New Kingston. Like it too. And just me walk down from stadium because you can't take the drive to leave when the place full up. So walk down from stadium to New Kingston go stay. Yeah. You reject yourself. That's an era go away. As somebody from jail tell me, era go away. You're annoying. Go away. Stop messing to you. Go away. You're annoying. Can't talk to you. Fool. Can't talk to fool people. Oh, you want to come here and get trouble. We're not in the trouble thing. All right, people, let me close on the program. By the way, before I go, Jason Guna. Hey, Jason Guna. I'll go out with my author, Jason Guna. And when you watch the tape, Jason Guna, you see the person who head the ball on the goal are me. See the person who beat the man on the line and kick it and keep a save it and the man kick it in are me. See the person with the left foot pass, that's why I've been there on it, is me. Me clip out the clip them from the last game I play. But we need them tear up. I've made that Jason Guna. Okay? So don't say me have me not on left foot or me not on right foot, Jason Guna. If you still not discuss. Dr. Hero. You know what? I'm not putting a comment. I'm going to ignore you. Go to your own programs, you can criticize Cranky. Go to your own YouTube channel, Dr. Hero, and you can go and criticize me. All right? Don't want to listen to you. Yes, I am stupid, Dr. Hero. I'm a fool. Yes. I appreciate you telling me I'm fool. I appreciate it. Yes, big deal. Yeah, hey, big deal. We need Rabbit in my team. But Jason Guna, how much time you touch the ball for you to say left foot pass? Right? Jason, think about the Jason Guna. There were like four items in that video. I think I had one header that scored, one that hit the upright. As a CM game, don't know Jason Guna. Remember, I scored 2 another goal there, but Jason Guna. I never show the last goal because I couldn't show the last goal. I beat the keeper, but never beat him the right way, so I never want to show it. And plus, we don't want to make the tape too long. I might put in other things. But Jason Guna in that tape, people don't have to listen to this. I mean, I'm Jason Guna talk. In that tape, Jason, I had 2 headers. I had to show the pass, Jason Guna, to show people say, you know, them things in their repertoire. And then the goal that the kid score, I am the one who kicked, never kid, big man score. I'm take credit for your goal. You know, do not score that goal there. I'm do I get the ricochet. So when we go, Jason Guna, when you watch the tape, Jason Guna, and you can dissect the tape. Cause before the game, Jason Guna give me a hard time, and Jason Guna, just like you do. And then watch that again and realize, say, you know what, them things are not normal. That's all I have to say. I just message. No, I played. You know what? Let me tell these people. So when I was playing football, I was growing up. In my time, most people are one-footed, right? But what I learned is that sometimes the ball will come on the wrong side, and you have to do something with it. So I used to practice kicking my left foot weeks after weeks after. You know, it doesn't mean I'm not good enough football. I'm not saying I'm good, but I used to practice my left foot. So one time my left foot gets stronger than my right foot. Because you have less control of your left foot when you're on the right foot, you know. So when you swing it, you swing it hard. That's what I'm ever say. No, it was over 40. Oh, I know, it was over 40. It wasn't over 50. No, Sherman, what I'm saying, no, Sherman. Rebel, am I baller? And if Rebel can't come right away, Rebel better in the midfielder we have right now. I mean, I see Rebel playing on football. I'm better than all of them. Sherman, Scott. Better than all of them. Yeah, Jason, send me some clips. Last call of the evening. I should have already. Good evening. Last call.
Oh man, I didn't know that, Cranky. I'll do the last. So I live in Florida. I've spent half my life in Florida. Okay.
Right.
It is the citizenry, and the people do have a responsibility to keep your own beaches clean, especially if you want to keep it free.
So no. Dwight. We grew up at Jamaica, and you live at Jamaica. Hey, Dwight, come, Dwight, man, come, Dwight. There are certain people with certain protocols who operate a certain way. That Dwight, me, you know that not happen. If you give them money, if you clean it, a different story. If you give them money, if you clean it, a different story.
All right, but Cranky, the beach down by Hopewell, me and you know the area, Lucy and Hopewell good, right? See? That beach was clean, and they kept clean by who? The local people, brother.
No, but some people are like that, right? They have these communities, for example, right, where they all get together. Yeah. It's their properties there. They'll make their property not look like, you know what, to degrade the value of the property. But nobody now own the property. That the people them who are mess up the beach, them not involved in that. They don't own the property. Most times I don't think they own the property, so they don't have any. They're not invested in it. They don't have a stake in it, right? That's sort of the difference, I think. but I don't disagree with you that we should all be responsible citizens, and not even just the beach alone, just in terms of how we operate.
Yeah.
Now, I see people driving on the road and then throw stuff out their car. I'm like, why are you doing that? Somebody got to pick it up, right? If you throw it out of the car, somebody has to pick it up. So how do we change culture and behavior to get to a better place?
True. So Cranky, I'm involved in certain beach sports in Jamaica heavily over the past 5 years. Couple things that we have been a struggle, right? So we go to the free beaches. First of all, there's not enough garbage cans and recycling depots near the beach. So that's why you see not necessarily bottles, because people will pick up the bottles, but the plastic and the trash. The people, when them cool up on the beach, they're not go out no 15, 20 minutes to go fling my trash.
Right? They're not what?
They're not go out no 15, 20 minutes to go dash with it.
Exactly.
So that's where the government does come in, right? I will say that.
That's
where the government
you got to create an environment where it's easy for. Look, you got to change culture. You got to change behavior. You got to change behavior. That's the most important thing, right? When you feel guilty if you throw trash on the beach, that's why you got to create that environment where I'm guilty. I feel guilty. I don't feel good about myself, or I throw the trash on the beach. And they got to give them the facilities to dispose of the trash.
True.
Right? So I don't disagree with you, but I know culturally, I know the mindset is, it's not just Jamaica alone, by the way, people.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? You go in certain neighborhoods, people treat it like, you know what, they don't realize they're the ones living there. And you go to certain neighborhoods, people are like, you know what, we got to keep up the property. We don't want certain people, a certain persuasion or in the environment. And we don't want on trash because it's about the house and the house price, and you got to keep going up. So let's maintain that certain way to make sure it goes upwards, not sideways or downwards. So I understand what you're saying, Dwight.
Yeah, true. Because for example, I'll keep it brief. Where I live close to, you go to the beach, you go park, right? It's free. You can go on the beach.
Right.
There is a deposit box there. You can put in $1, a quarter, whatever, and it goes to keeping the beach clean. But yes, to go. And in general, when people walk by and them leaving the beach, you'll see people who don't see somebody else's trash. Just pick it up and just take it to the trash. And once again, it's because of where the trash bin and all that is located. So it's to me, it's a twofold process.
Yep.
The citizens need to do it, and the government needs to put the facilities nearby.
Totally agree with you. Look, I think YouTubers and other people in social media have the ability, and to me also the responsibility, to effect change in our societies. I am very, very, very distrustful of traditional media. And it's not about conspiracy theory. Because I used to believe in traditional media. I subscribed to the New York Times for over how many years? And then after a time, you start reading stuff and you're just like, you guys are biased. You guys are one-sided. And when you do your own investigation, it's like Ta-Nehisi, you hear me mention Ta-Nehisi quotes and him writing about the situation in the Middle East. And this reporter from CBS just attacking him. And initially he was actually nervous. This is an accomplished writer. He was nervous. I could hear in his voice, but after a while he got comfortable because he wasn't expected to be attacked. He was attacked, right? For saying Israel is an apartheid state, which it is. It's not debatable. And that America supports an apartheid state. And that for him, no matter what happened, you can't. And I asked the question earlier, Dwight, which no one answered, by the way. What are you positive about in life? And what do you detest in life? So do you have an answer for that? Answer for that? Dwight, you there?
Yeah.
What are you positive about and what do you detest?
The one that was you know what I replied back to that? I can't remember what I wrote earlier, but I saw okay. I said the one that I was puzzled about I was talking about football. Why does it matter where somebody is born, whether they're committed to Jamaica, right?
I'm not talking about just football. I'm talking about in general in life. So I just talk about in life in general. It's not sports related. It's just a general question which has been hitting me and I'm thinking out loud about it.
So the one that probably I can't really talk about the one that puzzled me.
No, you can talk about it. Why you can't talk about it? I know how you probably think, and I think I can guess. But tell me the one that puzzles you. I'm curious about it.
The one that I detest is when people don't clean up in their own neighborhood, right? Because I've lived in neighborhoods that are good, bad, and different. And
Right.
at the very minimum, if I see a piece of trash and the garbage people forget to pick it up, I pick it up and put it in the nearest garbage can, or I
Right.
take it to my nearest garbage can. And if you want this is common sense. If you want to value your area to look good, if you want to cut down on petty crime in your area, people associate litter with crime.
Right. Yeah.
You could live in the richest area, but if there's litter, people associate litter with crime. So if you solve that, so that's one of the things that I just have a peeve about that.
Right.
The puzzle one, I would have to think about it right now. I don't really have a good one. So I don't really have something that
Right.
come off.
Somebody here, Float Management says social injustices I detest. So, for example, the apartheid state, Israel, the Palestinian, that would be something that falls under social injustice. Yeah.
Okay.
And then puzzle is an interesting one. So, all right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. There's when you come to the apartheid state, within the Caribbean, you can say a lot of things that we're almost there to a certain.
No,
degree,
the Caribbean doesn't have citizenship based a hierarchy of citizenship, right? The system is not built by a hierarchy of citizenship in terms of your rights and privileges, right? Like you see, South Africa was,
correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say the Caribbean, like Haiti, is going into a failed state in a sense, but I wouldn't call it apartheid in any shape or form. Actually, I would agree with Float. Which is interesting. That I think social injustices. So, how you treat people unfairly because of their race, because of their religion, because of their social situation, because of their finances, because of the economics. I mean, I just totally detest not treating people like we're all equal and we all should be respected, no matter who you are, where you're from, no matter what your sexual orientation is, what your race is. I don't care what that is. Not treating people like to me is just something I totally find abhorrent and detest. What puzzles me, which is much more controversial, which is gonna get me in trouble, so I'm gonna close down when I mention it, is just the concept of life itself. That's what puzzles me. It doesn't make any sense to me. And when something is illogical, I struggle.
That one deep. We're not touch it right now. We're not touch it, bro. We're not touch it.
It's the most contradictory thing you can ever think about. If you were to sit down and really just think deductively, it doesn't make any sense. And don't give me the religion stuff, people, because me know why no go on them part there. Just the concept of life itself doesn't make any sense. And the question you didn't ask yourself is about your learnings, which is, I'm gonna come back to that, which is, what informs your learnings? Because we are taught to think logically, and some things are just not logical. And then your source of information didn't have to query, because the people in power who knows better trying to manipulate our thoughts control the news that we get. That's why things like YouTube, where information is now disseminated, where people make up their own stuff, and where you don't have to depend upon certain people who control you to give you information, it's a powerful tool. So we have the dissemination and the spreading of information, which those in power is to control. They don't have as much, they still have control, but it's not like it used to be. It's a good thing. It's also a really bad thing, because people disseminate bad information. They push out bad information. So that's where faith comes in. But faith is not logical.
Not touching. Big up yourself.
Hey, this worse than the whole thing. You can't tell what's doing in Jamaica. People start run. See, do I have to run there? No. Yeah. All right, do it. Good night. All right, people. Let me close it down. Close it down, people, because you're to a certain subject, and no matter how smart you are, you think you are, when you start to some subject, it just feels uneasy, doesn't it? It just feels uneasy. So I spend a lot of time trying to think about the concept of life itself. It's a bother that I can't fix. And some people say to me, why you focus on something you can't fix? Doesn't make any sense. Why you But that's how my brain works. It doesn't allow me not to think about it. Because I know people can go to the whole God concept and the faith concept. I understand that. And some people want to go about, well, the world came from a black hole. What God? Where did black hole come from? Like, so whether it's evolution or religion, that's why I don't think I'm that smart, because I don't know anything about that. Yeah, but you can't leave your life just be fate, because most of life is logic. Fluid. Most of life is about logic. And you're right about that, fate. My brain is exploding. It explodes almost every day because this thing just sits in there. And you're just like, doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The logic, scientists will tell you that, everything is logical. No, it's not. Now, I want to know what other people think about, right? I want to know what people think about in terms of what bothers you and what's puzzling to you. It doesn't have to be life itself. It doesn't have to be social injustice. I'm curious because I want to think about some of these things and do them as topics, right? What do I want to take on? Do some as topics. Hey, Claudine, I'm very disappointed in you, Claudine. Very disappointed in you. I got even beaten because of your topics, Claudine. You told me to talk about this evening. You didn't ask me. You told me to talk about cranky. Talk about, I'm going to go for them because I wrote them down. British rejects, cranky. Talk about, say Amari Hutchins. I didn't talk about Amari. He's saying, why diasporas are not considered non-Jamaicans by locals. Now, I will do that tomorrow, people. I'll do that tomorrow. But Claude, I get beaten to having my thumbnail British rejects, which I wasn't saying people are British rejects, by the way. It was just in my thumbnail. Yeah, the whole life thing, Claudine. So I'm saying logic makes no sense. Life is illogical. No, Fana, that's illogical, Fana. That's not logical. That's not logical. I'm sorry, people. That's not logical. It's not logical. Now, do I believe in God? Yes, but it's not logical. That's not logical. If you guys say it's logical, then I'm sorry. That's not. You guys are confusing what logic entails. That's not logical. To me, black hole is not logical. But saying there's what's logical is that the world has to be created in a sense. But then to get to the creator, that's not logical. And if you say, Claudine, you're blaspheming, I'm going to say to you, then God made me, and he knows I'm going to think before I think. So don't blame me for my thoughts, because I don't control those thoughts. Oh, Claudine, yeah, I heard about, but Claudine, a hurricane is headed to Florida every week. What are you talking about? Isn't that a weekly thing in Florida, Claudine? Aren't you guys having hurricanes like every other day or week? Maybe don't try to burn out the Santos. Do you know the function operation? I'm using it right now, Fana. Tell me, Fana, tell me. Maybe I bring some of you guys and talk about these things. Why isn't life logical, Owen? Because it's just not. Owen, just think about it, Owen. You know what's illogical, people? I'm gonna leave you this one. I keep saying I'm gonna leave you. Some of you tell me, what does nothing look like? I'm just because I have no time, more time in my hand nowadays. I'm thinking about what does nothing look like? Tell me what nothing look like. I have no idea what nothing look like. When it comes to the whole concept of life and the universe and all that. I have no idea. It's not logical, Owen, because you can't have something from nothing. That's why it's not logical, Owen. You can't have something from nothing. We've been taught that, right? You can't have something. Think about it, people. There's no world. What does nothing look like? Exactly, know yourself. Nothing is something. But how can nothing be something? You know what? Let me go before I confuse myself. How can nothing be something? But the concept of nothing means there's nothing there. But even if it's dark, that's something. So it's very confusing. Yeah, it's a different show, Triple E. I'm going to do it one day because we got to have those conversations. Those illogical conversations. No, those logical conversations for illogical topics. No, I'm not called Terrence or no, nothing. My girls, man. No, nothing. Yeah. Nothing. It's time to sign off, people. I'm going to get myself in that trouble. I'm going to get myself in that trouble with the JFF already. Anyway, people, let me say good night. First of all, I'm going to play that. I'm going to do my outro, Jason Guna. I'm doing my outro. You can watch it. We can watch again. That every time somebody touched the ball, that was me, except for the goal of the youth score. And you can tell me how it look. Claudine, good night. You're late. Talk about you have to prepare for a hurricane. Hey, Claudine, I hope everything goes well, by the way. And actually, Claudine, a family friend of mine, just actually 26 years old. This is bad news to leave, but lost his life the other day riding home. It was in Florida, so unfortunate. So condolences to him, to the family about that. Nothing looks like nothing. What's somebody said? Nothing like cranky. Nothing looks like nothing. I have no idea what it means either. Hey, Jason Guna, I wasn't bad mouthing anybody. I just said did he muff the chance, Jason Guna? I'm not a coach in Jason Guna. Coach can talk nice political. If you miss a chance like that, the man got thrown gold and he missed it. But I'll bounce up on him. You know what? The field not good. Blame the field. All right, everyone. Let me just say this. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful evening. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about Claudine tomorrow. Hopefully the hurricane comes and just pass. But don't get hit but hard enough. I think in the turn of the century where there's a really bad one in Florida once, because I done in Pembroke Pines. Wasn't a good look. But Claudine, I hope it all works out well, Claudine. Everybody's safe. And the hurricane passed harmlessly. All right. Exactly. That's why I'm get cussed. But stay safe, Claudine. And Winston, I know Winston was in the chat. Winston, stay safe. I know Winston's in Florida too. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk about the whole diaspora thing. How locals, people in Jamaica, I shouldn't say locals, so like indigenous people, or Jamaicans in Jamaica make diasporans feel like they're non-Jamaican. Nanny, neither. I don't eat meat and I don't eat fish anymore. I stopped eating meat a long time ago. I don't eat fish anymore. So there's no pork or lobster. And first of all, I stopped eating pork from primary school. I haven't touched pork from primary school. So nothing with pork in it, don't eat from primary school. Me a Rasta. We just balled. But me not eat pork from primary school. That's a long time ago, I can imagine. I agree, Owen. Not anything that we eat. Bad for human beings. But anyway, people, I've overstayed my time. It's almost 9 o'clock. Have a good evening. This has been almost 3 hours. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about the diaspora thing tomorrow. All right? Bless up and peace out. See you tomorrow. Frankie Life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Frankie Life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Frankie Life, tell them. Frankie Life, heed them. Frankie Life, want them. Frankie Life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Cranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Cranky Life, tell them. Cranky Life, heed them. Cranky Life, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Cranky Life, get to know the name because Cranky analysis is never lame. Cranky Life, give me my Cranky Life. I want my Cranky Life. Must have my Cranky Life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Cranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and debate and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Cranky Life. Tell them, Cranky Life. Heed them, Cranky Life. Want them, Cranky Life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Cranky Life. Tune into Cranky Life. Like up, Cranky Life. Subscribe to Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Coming to you on weekdays. Cranky Life sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Cranky will always bring the heat. Cranky Life. Me say fi tell them Cranky Life. Me say fi eat them Cranky Life. On them Cranky, Cranky, Cranky Life. Cranky Life will be around. Cranky Life is the best in town. Me say fi eat them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi eat them. Want them, eat them, want them. Cranky, Cranky, Cranky Life. Cranky, Cranky, Cranky Life. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Cranky, Cranky, Cranky Life. Cranky, Cranky, Cranky Life. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Cranky, Cranky, Cranky Life. Cranky, Cranky, Cranky Life. Cranky. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Eat, want, eat, want, eat them.